Gorgeous, and I'm very, very happy to be here.
Okay, and you therefore are Letty. Letty.
Hello, I'm Letty from Romania.
Romania.
Yes, I'm so happy to be here. It's not the first time.
It's not the first time?
No.
Oh.
I was last summer in Las Vegas and Los Angeles.
Oh, you were in a live production in L.A.?
Yes.
Did you sing or dance?
Sing.
Sing, okay. And what was the name of that show?
It was a competition.
Oh, another competition?
Yes.
And how did you do?
Good.
You did good.
Yes.
Okay, I want some of the money. No.
I earned the premier industry trophy.
Oh,
Yes.
and you got a trophy?
Yeah.
Okay, let's all give her a hand. That was good, huh? Okay, so you got a trophy. Okay, and Susie, you're here for the first time in Las Vegas,
Yes, right.
Okay.
Right.
All right, and right behind me over here, you come in here and you say your name.
Hello, my name is Farhad Jan. I am from Uzbekistan. I'm first time in Las Vegas in America. I am very, very happy. Thank you for coordinator for everything.
And they can see these beautiful people on the internet. I mean, on the website, right?
Yes, you can
If
vote
they
for
go to the
them
website.
For round one already, yes.
Okay, biggesttalent.com.
That's right.
Okay, and back here we have another guy.
Lucas Vondracek from Czech Republic.
Czech Republic.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, and what do you're going to sing, right?
Yes.
You're a singer.
Yes.
You're a singer.
Yes.
And,
I'm also a singer.
and you're a singer too?
Also.
Okay, and you're going to play.
I am a musician.
You're a musician. Okay, and what is the name of that instrument you got?
This instrument name Uzbek traditional instrument name of hijak.
Oh, unbelievable. Okay.
Yes. Like voice like violin.
Okay, it's beautiful. And you're going to play it for us before we're done, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, before we get any further, Pete, you have brought some video which we can see of these. Is it of these people or last year's people?
Well, I'd like to start with last year's show, if it's all right, so people can have an idea. Last year, our program was called the Most Famous Awards, and really what it was is just the winners were brought to Vegas as a sort of an honor, so they can perform in front. We had 4 different categories. This year, it's different because we're having an elimination round on stage, and therefore it's called the Biggest Talent because it's
you have
still
3
part of the
judges,
competition.
right?
We have 3 judges judging, as well as the audience at home and in the audience in the theater.
Okay.
But, so if it's all right, I'd like to start with a short trailer of last year's show, also filmed in Vegas, and you can just see how honored and excited everybody who performed was to be in Las Vegas, which, by the way, I love this town. The passion and the talent of artists performing in this town never ceases to impress me, and the appreciation from these semi-professional and amateur artists who come and perform in this town is truly wonderful. And I have to say the audience received them incredibly. For example, our best band last year was from Ecuador. We're talking about a band that plays acoustic guitars and pan flutes, things that you'll never hear in a million years on American radio, and the audience just ate it up. It's so nice to bring a global performance to this town. I really think that's what makes us unique, and the talent out there in the world is outstanding, and we're so happy to have these talented people with us.
That's
so
great.
without further ado, I'm going to ask Scott if you can roll in the trailer from last year's show, and you have a good idea. It's hosted by a friend of mine, Matt Gallant, who used to host Planet's Funniest Animals, and he's a wonderful host, and you'll see a couple of professional people in there, a professional comedian and a professional magician to fill in during some of the period of the show. But otherwise, take a look, and you can see how it went last year.
Okay, here we go. Go ahead, Scott.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to the only man to lose betting on the ATM machine. Your host for tonight's show, Mr. Matt Gallant.
All right, hey! So tonight is when we feature the winners from last year's Biggest Talent competition. Now, these artists were selected as the best of the best from across the globe. We've got such a great big show. Let's just kick it off with a bang.
I was in North Africa. I saw the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. I was in North Africa. I saw 2 turtles having sex. They were going at it too, man. They were just like... It reminded me of me and my wife. Because the one on the bottom was not into it. Plus, I can't roll over once I'm on my back, so...
Stop me from shaking, and I need you today, oh Mandy.
En tus ojos veo que me quieres, tus palabras dicen lo contrario. Yo no puedo ver tu corazón, sin embargo tú me amas.
1, 2. At the same time, 1 round, 2.
The power of free is here to make us strong. We can change the world. One smile at that time is fine. Let's do some good. The power, the world. Thank you so much.
Hey, folks, remember what happens in Vegas ends up on the internet.
Okay, well, that was quite some talent there, Pete. That was wild, okay? So tell us about those winners and what happened to them, and give us a little bit of insight, if you will.
Well, you know, Maya Pop, she is super talented, and she's got recordings out in Romania. But she was also a finalist in X Factor Romania.
Really?
Yes. And so we have a clip to show from there, because I want you to see the caliber and the competitiveness of the talent that we have on our show. So if you don't mind, I'm going to ask Scott to roll in just a little piece from the
You can do it as much as you like. Sure. Scott, do you know where it's at already?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to play it.
Oh, no, it's the X Factor show. So that would be, yeah, that's right.
Okay.
So just a little into the performance, if you don't mind, so we don't have to worry about it.
Okay, we're ready to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
No hiding on the wall. No hiding on the
Well, Pete, that was quite a pretty stage. So that's like the X Factor in Romania?
That is X Factor Romania.
Okay.
And as you can see, Maya is very talented. She did wonderfully in that program. But anyway, back to this year's competition, because we have some amazing talent here with us today.
That's right.
So before we go too far, let's start maybe by talking to Susie. And hearing a little bit more about her background, because she's extremely trained, as she'll tell you.
Yeah, okay. And we're going to hear these people on a video a little bit, right?
We'll roll in one of her entries for submissions to get to this place.
Okay.
Shortly.
Susie, what else do you do? You're a singer, but what else do you do?
Yes, last year I've educated Yerevan State Conservatory. My occupation is a classical vocal. But since 7 years old, I'm singing everything, every kind of song. songs.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So you're pretty excited to be here in the United States?
Yes, of course.
Yeah?
It's normally for me to be excited because Las Vegas, it's welcoming me very hospitality, and I'm really excited more.
Oh, that's great. That's exciting, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Did you want to say anything to your friends or family at home?
Yes, of course. But first of all, I would like to say thankfully your organizers of this amazing, comparable and gorgeous contest, because each contestant I am thinking what will be honor to represent country, and for example me also I am very honor responsibility, and thanks a lot my friends, all friends, all my fans for supporting me, and all for what I am here, and I am 8 best of finalists.
That's great. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you a question, Pete. If people went to biggesttalent.com right now, is there something on their plane when they won that they would see her?
Yes, it's
they
on,
would.
It's a click on it.
Yeah, it's a click on it,
right.
and they would see it. Okay,
Yeah.
let's
And
go over.
just to mention really quickly. So there's 72 separate country managers who really organize everybody's entries. This is one of the reasons why the program works so well. So I don't want people to think that I'm the only one organizing this, because we have teams across the world who are really helping to pull together this competition, and that's how we get to the very best people. So without further ado, let's show you how talented this young woman is. If we can,
You want to show them each individually, if you can? You have her? Okay, let's go for it.
I'm sorry.
You might just want to show them all at one time.
I'm sorry. What country again is it from?
Okay.
My country, Armenia.
All right.
Armenia. It is
Armenia,
Okay.
yes.
Armenia. Yes.
Okay, here we go. We got it?
Yeah.
Are we on live?
I don't know how
Wow. Was that good, Pete? Pete, that was Susie.
Yeah.
She was really putting out.
Yeah.
Wasn't she?
Well, we were talking
Susie?
about this
Thank
the other
you.
day. Her pitch accuracy is pristine, right? I mean,
Yeah,
that's
unbelievable.
That's really important, right? So she's
Yes.
very well trained.
And you sing quite a bit around where you live, and in even other countries, right?
Yes,
Yes, you
especially
do.
in abroad. Yes, I do. I do a lot of contest competitions.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you take voice lessons? Do you train?
No, when since 7 years old, I'm going to the musical school.
Okay.
After
Since you were
Tchaikovsky.
7 years old, you went to a music school.
Yes, music school, and after that, conservatory. And in conservatory, I'm studying 6 years,
Okay.
and after that, I.
So you have had training at the music school. You train, right?
Yes, of
Yes,
course.
yes. Okay, that is beautiful.
Thank you.
Very,
Thanks
very
a lot.
complimentary of you.
Thank
Okay,
you
and you
very
can see
much.
more of Susie if you want to go back and watch that again on biggesttalent.com. Okay. Now we're going to talk over here to this guy here. Okay. Now who's up next on that video?
Well, Bondi will be
Okay.
fine.
What do you want to say?
Tell him your name again.
Okay, I'm Lucas, 1D.
Okay. And you're a singer.
I'm a singer and musician. I have band. And
You have a band?
yeah, pop rock.
Okay. Okay. And so you perform quite a bit.
Oh, quite a bit, a lot of.
Okay. And so what country are you from?
Czech Republic.
Okay, Czech Republic. Is this your first time to the United States?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, if you have his video ready to play there, Scott? Czech Republic? Okay? Okay, we're going to see you right now, okay? And if we like it, you get to stay in here. Oh, no, you get to stay anyhow. Okay, here we go. Let's play it.
Light is blindness in the darkness. Two worlds, no universe. There's no sun to be found in our space. Two lives too far away. Our distance will last forever. So we'll never be together. We're two planets with no universe, orbiting with nothing to share. Orbiting with nothing to share. share.
Well, you just heard from Fondy, right? Fondy? All the way from the Czech Republic.
Yeah.
Right? And he actually is a singer and a guitar player, and you play piano and you play drums. You play everything, right?
Yes, and bass guitar. And that's all.
You do everything, okay? And there's 4 of you in your band, and you play 3 or 4 times a week all over the place, right?
Czech
Okay.
Republic.
At
Czech
the Czech
Republic mostly.
you do. Okay. Okay. So, and how long have you been doing that, Fondy?
Band or music?
All of it. How long have you been singing?
So, I'm singing from 5 or 6 years old. When I was
5 years old?
5 years, 6 years. That was like chore
Yeah.
in a music school. That was for 2 years, and I started studying playing piano. But after 4 years, I quit it because it was boring. A little
Yeah,
bit.
you want to play guitar.
Yes, but I want to play something by myself. I want to make more my music and not like Bach.
So, who's your biggest star in the U.S., even if they're not living now? Who was your biggest star, that your idol that kind of got you going? Who was your biggest star?
My biggest star and idol was and is Freddie Mercury.
Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll be daggum. But he's from the UK, right?
He's from the UK, yeah.
Yeah, UK. Okay. All right. Do you guys know who Elvis Presley is over there?
That's also.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. Okay. Well, we're glad that you did that, and you did a great job. And now we're going to hear him, and we're going to come back to you in a minute, okay? So we're going to come back to my friend back here, and you can stand up if you want to play that, but if you can do it sitting down, that's okay.
Okay.
Okay? So tell him your name again.
My name is Farhad Jan.
Okay. And you're from where?
From Uzbekistan.
Okay. Now, and you actually won the talent by you playing that instrument.
Yes.
Okay. And we're going to show them on the TV after I talk to you first, and then we're going to let you play live. I wanted them to see you play it there first, okay? So, how long have you been playing that instrument?
I think 20 years.
About 20 years?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm playing 20 years.
Okay. And where did you get that instrument? None of us have ever seen that instrument.
Oh, this, my father, also musician.
Your father's a musician,
Yes.
and he told you that would be a good thing for you?
Yes.
Okay.
And when I was children was about 7 years old, I'm starting 7 or 8 years old. I'm starting.
10 or 8 years old. Okay. Now, we're going to see you play on the video, and then we're going to come back and have you play. Okay? Okay, are we ready to do that, Scott?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go for it. Hey, that was fabulous, wasn't it?
Yes,
And you're very creative. You went out into the river and up on the big rock, yeah? And you started playing and doing all that. And then you took your video and then you sent it in for the contest, for the biggest talent contest, and you won, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, play for us. Tell us, first of all, do you know any more you want to tell us about that instrument? Is
Okay.
it...
I will try. This instrument, very old Uzbek traditional instrument. Before was 3-string. Before. After 1009, I think 90, so 43, 45 or
Around 1945,
yes.
that's when it was invented?
They added
Change
a
it
string.
4-string.
Yeah, they added the fourth string in
Okay,
1945.
you be right with me anytime you want. You're the boss. Okay, now listen. So, do you play other instruments, or is that your main instrument?
No, this instrument. I can play drum instrument and Uzbek traditional instrument.
But you're famous for playing this instrument.
Yes.
Okay. Make us all famous with you. Play for us.
Okay. Here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe move out here a little bit. Yeah, just like
traditional
that. That's
song.
good.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Traditional.
Okay. Very, very good. Okay. I've never seen that instrument before.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So you've been playing that since for about 20 years,
Yeah.
and you're very unique at doing that. And you went and filmed that thing up in the mountains, and then you sent it in, and you won. Yeah, they sent you in.
Yes.
Yeah. So now you're trapped here in Las Vegas.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't think you'll ever get out of here. No. Nice to have you here. That was beautiful, wasn't it?
Very
Okay.
unique, right?
There's some very unusual
Nice to
things for
have some
these
global
guys
talent.
getting to do that.
Yeah.
You know, tell us a little bit about. Then we'll get over to Liddy.
Yeah,
Okay, but before we do, it's pretty unique that these kids go out and do their own thing. They
Yeah.
take people out and film them and do all that. That's pretty unusual.
If you haven't noticed, our finalists are young.
Yeah, real loud in here.
And so part of the opportunity for our competition, and so other talent competitions on the network and stuff, won't accept a video submission like this. And by definition, that'll rule out people based on their ability to travel and afford to travel. And there's a lot of talented young people who don't have the means to fly in for an audition.
Okay,
So
let me ask you a question. What does Unicorn Productions, unicorn.com, what do they have to do with all this?
Unicorn,
Tell us about that.
Unicorn Network is our parent company, and really there is...
Is that the parent company of Biggest Talent?
Yes.
That's a big deal.
Well,
Is that guy named Dan Setgast?
Well, we have three founders.
Well, tell us about Unicorn.
Dan, Roland, and Nicole. 10 years ago, after having extremely successful careers as marketing executives and consultants in Germany, decided that they should be making the money for themselves that they were earning for their clients. And they dropped out for a year and went to a very remote place to really pick apart the internet and try to determine what was it that was great about the internet and what was bad about the internet. And it's really the same thing for everybody, right? We don't like spam, we don't like secret profiling, we don't like data mining. All these things were very clear to them. So they developed something that's being launched on July 17th that hopefully everyone will hear about, which is called the Safe Zone.
Oh, the Safe Zone. I've heard a little bit about that. Tell my audience about the Safe Zone.
Well, you know, the rest of the world seems to be a little bit more preoccupied with privacy than the United States, but we believe that the United States will catch up with this issue soon enough. And the reality is that we know that companies like Google and Facebook are making billions of dollars stealing our information and selling it to people. and companies. And the Safe Zone is a place where you can come and know that your identity is safe, that you can search and no one's recording anything, that no secret profiling, there's no taking your information and selling it or anything like that. It's completely secure.
It's a big deal, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it's not the easiest thing to do, and to create a sphere in the universe that it's safe and have only advertisers and pages and links that are completely safe as well. They've completely agreed to it, and we've developed devices to prevent personal information from being shared, even with those companies.
And so on the July 17th, they're going to come out with this a little more open in the public?
Yes, we'll be launching, and you'll be able to go on and be a part of our privacy network, the Safe Zone, and you'll find very quickly
something they enroll or subscribe to do. Is that it?
Yeah, well, it's a free subscription, and there's several businesses connected to it. One of my favorite is Pernum, which means personal number, and this personal number is given to you, and it takes the place of your email address, your credit card information. Any of your personal information comes down to a simple number that works for everybody who's involved with this network on a retail and advertising basis. So you never have to give your personal ID number and your account number out again. Okay. So let me give you a little example of how scary it can be, as you all know. But we were booking vacation rentals just the other day, and we were going online, and we were actually submitting all of our personal information, credit card information, all this stuff, to private homeowners, and then we weren't getting the rental property. So our information and data was being handed out to strangers who are not incorporated, and who knows what standards they have. They have our information, and we still didn't get the home that we were trying to rent. And so this is really a part of the problem, part of the bad stuff on the internet that we're eliminating. Anyway.
Tell me this. How can people out here know more about what you're talking about? What would they go to on their internet to find out more about what you're talking about?
Perfectinter.net.
Perfect, PERFECTINTER.net.
Yeah.
There is a website like that?
Yes.
Perfectinter.net. And these three people, are those the three people? Is it Dan Setgast and Nicole what?
Hardin.
What's her name?
Hardin.
Okay, and what's
Rollins,
the other guy's
and
name?
I'm not very good at pronouncing Roland's last name, so I'm not going to do it, but these are absolutely wonderful.
And these three people sat down? Are you telling me these three people sat down and decided to come up with a worldwide contest like this?
It wasn't that simple. They actually dedicated an entire year to dismantling all the successes and all the failures
What
on
a
the internet.
Wonderful thing to do for all these people.
Yes.
I mean, it's amazing. I hear they have several companies, major companies.
Yes, they have wonderful retail sites that give you an opportunity to punch the price down up to 99% discount on items. Of course, if you punch one too many on some of these items, it'll go away and you won't get the opportunity to buy it. But there's everything from Health Network that has world-renowned oncologists associated with us. Dr. Jim Forsyth from Reno, an amazing
I heard they have a weight program.
I should also say he's a homeopathic oncologist because he's a truly wonderful and unique gentleman. Dr. Malillo, who has 150 brain balance clinics across the country, and this gentleman is a pioneer of ADHD treatment without drugs. We have losingweight.com, nutritional. We have fitness with David Vaughn. So we have a bunch of services. All of this stuff will be available, and you'll see it come out on the 17th, and it'll be really sort of the starting point for a lot of this stuff. Anyway, we also have a social community, Bobble, BOBL.US for people in the United States. This is sort of a Facebook type community. We have 3 million members, of which we have about 850,000 who are really active. And so a lot of the stuff that we do in the contest are driven by these people from around the world, and they are truly from all over the world. So so we have a wonderful community. We have people who care and who are very active in everything from voting for this contest to participating in marketing, because we have something called We Share Success. And if you want to, you can actually earn points, deal points, and even money by helping market and promote some of the stuff and the retail partners that we have on the network.
Okay, now Pete, let me tell you, is Dan and Nicole, and the other person's name is
Roland.
Roland. Are they funding this whole thing too financially? Are they paying for these people to come here?
There is a large group of smaller investors that they have organized, but for the most part, the three founding members.
They're overseeing this. What great people they are.
They are lovely people.
Huh? Aren't they great?
You couldn't meet three nicer people.
That's great. Okay.
And every time we talk about the community, they think about their members first, every time. Their privacy, their security, their opportunities, which is why we have such wonderful talent here today. So.
Well, you know what? And I'm excited because they've invited me in to network and be part of you and to come in and assist with the overall scene of the talent division of Unicorn and PerfectInternet.com.
And we are so happy to have you, John.
Well,
I just wanted to say one thing about the opportunities for people to submit their videos and to be here because just the opportunity that money isn't a barrier for you to be able to submit your presentation, your audition on video. And even though people are recording in their homes, you can see that the talent is there and you can appreciate it. Every single country can vote. There's 4 primary categories in this contest: singer, instrumentalist, group, and dancer.
Oh, that's great.
Now, they're not all represented here because the Battle of the Countries is the single best performer of all 4 categories. From each country, there can only be one winner.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, so this is why we have the people that we do here today, because they have outshined the other categories in their own countries to become finalists.
We want everyone to know you can go to perfectinter.net.
That's right.
Right?
And look for the launch of Safe Zone on July 17th.
Safe Zone, July 17th. And right now we're all here celebrating biggest talent. And that show is going to be over at the David Sachs Theater at Planet Hollywood in the Miracle Mile Mall, 10:30 this Sunday, no charge. You get to come and see these great people perform from all over the world. You have to be there at 10 o'clock in order to get a seat, but you want to come over and you want to see that. Now, we're going to have another final person here, though, right this second, and that is Liddy. Liddy is also.
Hello again.
You girls are. Huh?
Letty.
You said it wrong. I said it right. Okay, Letty. Okay.
My friends call
Letting me
Letty.
say what I want to say. Letting me do that. That's what we can say, right? Okay, now listen. Aren't they beautiful, these girls?
Yes.
Huh? Yeah, they are
Thank
beautiful
you.
girls.
Talented.
Thank you.
Very talented, too. Who cares about their talent? Like, they're beautiful. No. Okay, they're beautiful girls here. Okay. All right. Now, we are going to play Letty now. Do you have Letty up there? You do? Okay, Letty, we're going to hear you sing, and then we're going to come back and talk to you, okay?
Okay.
Okay. All right, we're going to do that now. Here we go. This is Letty from where?
From Romania.
Romania. Okay.
I'm jealous of the rain that falls upon your skin. It's closer than my hands have been. I'm jealous of the rain. I'm jealous of the wind that ripples through your clothes. It's closer than your shadow. Oh, I'm jealous of the wind. I wished you the best of all this world could give, and I told you when you left me, there's nothing to forgive. But I always thought you'd come back and tell me all you found was heartbreak and misery. It's hard for me to say I'm jealous of the way you're happy without me. As I sink in the sand, watch you slip through my die here another day. 'Cause all I do is cry behind this smile. I wish you the best of all this world could give. And I told you when you left me, and there's nothing to forgive. But I always thought you'd come back and tell me all your farewells, heartbreak and misery. It's hard for me to stay. I'm jealous of the way you're happy without me. It's hard for me to stay. I'm jealous of the way you're happy without me.
Well, Letty, that was unbelievable. Now, as I was looking at that, Letty, I asked you, I says, well, you know, because I thought, you know, that's a very pretty girl and a very mature-looking girl. And I asked you how old you were. And you told me you were what?
15.
15! She's a year younger than me. Yes, that's true. Okay. Hey, I didn't ask you anything. Okay, so anyway, so Letty, you say you sing almost every day, right?
Yes.
Okay, and you study voice also?
Yes.
Yes, you do. Okay, and the fact is that you sing around your and you sing socially for other clubs and people. You sing all out.
Yes.
Okay.
I have a lot of fans in my country.
When you go for a drive in the car, do your parents have to put you in a baby chair, in a baby seat?
No.
Because you're kind of young. Huh? That's what I would have to do. Okay, so you won here, and are you the youngest winner? I think she's the youngest winner,
I think
right?
she is, but like again, this is part of the opportunity, is that young people who could not normally afford or have their parents take them to an audition in a faraway city have an opportunity with our program that they otherwise don't have.
I love it. Okay, Scott, we want to hear the other winners that aren't here in person.
In fairness, they're
get through that. Give me their names and help me here.
As you know, because of the travel ban in this country, we have difficulties getting visas sometimes for people who are very innocent and safe to come. So even though we had other contestants and finalists who could not come, in all fairness, I'd like to just show some of the examples of each one of their remaining 4 auditions or submissions, I should say. So Scott, if you don't mind, let's show some clips of the people who could not be with us today.
يلا حبيبي شمر دراع راه كلشي قريب ما تثق في شي واحد صحيبي زمان دار بان شحال صعيب اون ذا سيم تايم كتجري غير فيزي الجول دريبلي تيري تاق في راسك كون فري تحدى صعيب بين اللي باري مد ليد لي منا يدوق قدام الخوت يجري كيف ديما
la da da la. Oh, ooh, la da da la da da la. We've been through the storm, we've been through it all. We had some close calls, but never would fall. We climbed all the mountains, walked through all the valleys, and you never left me behind. I found my way through the clouds, no more running.
Okay, that was the other 4 contestants, a part of the 8, and there's going to be other special performers as well. I'm going to be emceeing it and doing some stuff there. It's going to be a great show. It's at the David Sachs Theater, Miracle Mile Mall, 10:30 on Sunday morning, and you want to show up by 10 o'clock to get in and get a seat. Holds over 500 people, so you'll see great. And also you want to come back when you're there because you saw that show. Yeah. Vegas, the show is a fantastic show, isn't it?
David
and
Sachs
then
is
we're going to have all this big lighting and sound. I mean, it's going to be really Vegas, isn't it? Okay?
Big.
And we want to share to these people. Now, streaming. Let's come on here and tell people exactly what streaming is and how they get to it and how they vote and make sure they understand because there's no cost even on your own television, or is it on a website?
Smart TVs and computers. It's streaming for free, live, 10:30.
Explain that here for us.
10:30 on Sunday, Pacific time.
They can all turn in.
The program is being streamed free. Go to biggesttalent.com for
That's important to say that bigger. Biggesttalent.com Sunday morning, and it'll explain to you how to stream, right?
That's right. And the reason why we want to put it out there globally for free is because we really want as many people to vote from home as possible.
All
so
these beautiful people.
Please come and help us decide who deserves to be the global talent this year for our show.
Right, and this is all put out on and produced by perfectenter.net. And would we say also Unicorn?
Yes, of course.
Unicorn what?
Unicorn Network.
Okay, Unicorn Network is doing this, and they're doing this, they're funding this, they have investors that work with them and so forth, but they've taken the time and the talent and the effort to explore and be able to have people actually show of themselves and do this. I mean, what great people they are.
We like to say the Unicorn Network is magically changing the world, and we are for the little guy, and our investors are little guys as well. And so we're very much into, independence and individuality, opportunity.
I'm excited because I'm a part of it now, right?
Yes, you are, sir.
Okay, I want that hand again. I want to make sure I get a good hand. Rod, do you see the hand? That's my brother. He's verifying this right now. Okay.
As you guys know, Johnny is just a super talented individual. We're so glad to have him, and we're very, very, very happy.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, these people are so exciting to see and to do that. Tell me again, how do you get the word out for all these people? For next year, we want to make sure that a lot of people do this. How did you get the word out for these people to take the time and the effort to go actually get a video person and go hide in the mountains with the river and all this? How did that happen? How did all these people know about this?
This is our third year. Of doing this international competition. And we do have videos and promotion out there across the globe to remind people that submissions are now. You can start to submit your entries for season 4. And
would they find that on biggesttalent.com too?
Yeah, you can just search Biggest Talent and you'll find it.
And it's all there if they study it.
Yeah, you can see how to submit everything. And so please do. Just the other day, I saw this young guitar player on Facebook playing Eleanor Rigby on guitar and singing, and I have never seen that song performed so expertly on guitar as possible. And I want to encourage those individuals, you know who you are and how talented you are, to please submit your videos and come to Vegas and show the world your talent. It's such a great town. It's filled with so many beautiful, talented people. It never ceases to amaze me. Last night we went to a special performance of Solid Gold Soul at the Bally's Windows Theater.
And actually, Unicorn has sort of taken over a lot of their marketing and helping with them and networking with them.
But I'm really saying this not because we're helping marketing the program. There's a group of talented people in that show that will blow
we're going to maybe have somebody from there on our show, right? right?
Yes.
We're going to find that out. We're going to do that.
Please join us.
Yeah, and
to
also
see.
we're going to have the Jackson 5 tribute.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
From the Motown Extreme show. They're going to be there and do it. We're going to have a couple of comedians. Tell about the comedians.
We have Mark Riccadonna and Sean Lynch. They're two fantastic comedians. You saw Mark on last year's show. The audience really loves them. These guys are really fantastic professionals. I've known them for years, and they're really great to bring to town. You know, this town has so much talent.
It does.
It's wonderful. That we can. I believe that Vegas is the entertainment capital of the world.
Sure it is. In fact, on this show in just a minute, we're going to have on Frank Sinatra, we're going to have on Elvis Presley, and we're going to have on Neil Diamond in just a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
I brought them back to life for you.
I know, you're the creator of the legends.
Of course, Neil was here anyhow, right?
Yeah.
Neil Diamond's here anyhow.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, so this town is filled with wonderful talent, and when our performers come and perform on this stage, and the appreciation of the audience, knowing that they are not professionals, is just so wonderful. The energy is so great. God bless Las Vegas. It's just a wonderful town. Everyone should be here visiting and seeing as many shows as possible. There's just an overabundance of talent to be seen.
So we want to say goodbye to our beautiful talent here. Say your name and where you're from again, sweetheart.
Suzy Adamyan from Armenia.
And you're one of the finalists. You'll see her Sunday at 10:30, Saks Theater. Don't forget it. And yours?
I'm Leti from Romania.
Okay. And you're beautiful on there, both of you ladies.
Farhadjan, Uzbekistan'dan.
Okay. And over here.
Vondi, Czech Republic.
Okay. And they are the finalists on that show. And then we have the company, which is Unicorn Network, working with us. And if you all want to find out more how to vote and how to do this thing and what to do and the exciting things that is here for you to see, you want to go to biggesttalent.com.
That's right.
And they're going to tell you all about it. And this is my friend, a good friend, Pete Demas, and he is the program coordinator, technical person. He's so great, and he has a great background too. It's an honor to be here with you.
Johnny. Thank you.
It's an honor to be here with you, my friend. It's an honor here to be with you, and it's an honor here to be with you, and it's an honor here to be with
Thank you. Same to
You're
you.
all here from another country. We love you all. We welcome you here, and in behalf of Unicorn Network and everyone associated with that, we thank you for coming. All of you now, come to the show Sunday. Saks Theater, Planet Hollywood. Don't forget it. 10:30, be there at 10. You'll love it. It's over by 1. Johnny Stuart and friends, God bless you all, and thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Welcome to the Live. Johnny Stewart and friends.
Slithering Idiot Show.
Young and Bruce.
Guy Dawson Show.
702 Rocks. Danny Vegas time.
Welcome to the Live.
Johnny Stuart and Friends.
Slithering Idiot Show.
Ariel and Bruce.
Guy Dawson Show.
702 Rocks. Danny Vegas time.
Johnny Stewart and Friends.
Slithering Idiot Show.
Ariel and Bruce.
Guy Dawson Show.
702 Rocks. Danny Vegas time.
Well, welcome to Johnny Stewart and Friends. Boy, we're all over the place today, aren't we? Huh?
All over.
Hey,
Yes.
Rob Garrett's here with me, and Rob, you have been doing Neil Diamond for a long time, and over here on my right is Justin Chandor, and he has been doing Elvis for how long?
17 years now.
17 years, and you're only 18 years old.
Yeah, that's right.
That's good.
He started when he was 1.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, man, that's
started
to
when
shake
you
my
was
legs.
1.
Shaking my legs since
Did you
since I was
ever
born.
get out of the diaper thing?
My mother couldn't even put diapers on me, man. I was just,
It's horrible. And over here we have Gary Anthony that does Frank Sinatra. So together, Gary, how long have you been doing Mr. Sinatra?
Professionally, 17 years.
17 years, same as him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys okay? and you're not even 17 years old yet.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
And I've been doing Neil for 23 because I started with you.
In Hawaii. Was that the
That's-
first place?
That was the first place.
Okay. So Rob Garrett has formed. Did you kind of get these guys together? Was that your?
I did.
Okay. So over here we have Gary Anthony. He is a fantastic Frank Sinatra, a tribute artist, okay? But he sings live, he does it live, the same challenges that we had in a Jon Stewart production of Legends in Concert, right? Okay. So we have Gary Anthony, Frank Sinatra, and over here we have Mr. Rob Garrett as the unbelievable voice of Neil Diamond, and you're going to see a lot of stuff here today. It's going to be an exciting thing. And then over here we have Justin Chandor, fabulous voice, okay, that moved here. Where did you move? I was here when you moved in. You moved from Seattle?
No, I moved from Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, Detroit, Michigan. Okay, and you've been here in Vegas now, what, about 7 years?
Oh, no, 17 years.
You've been in Vegas 17 years?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I thought he was
I'm a
only
veteran
18
of
years
Vegas.
old. So you're older than
He was
18.
when he started because I remember him when he first started. He was like 7.
When I met you, I was about 18 years old.
Oh,
That's right.
man, that's right. It was amazing. You've been amazing ever since I've known you. So, Rob, you kind of got together here, and tell us your thoughts. I want you to speak about this because you formed an unusual group that's performing this coming, not today, but next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday over at the South Point.
At the South
And you
Point.
go on at 7:30?
Yes, we do.
Okay, 7:30, and they're going to do 3 shows. They're going to do Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And tell us about that show and what's unique about it and what's in that show from you, Rob Garrett. Go ahead.
Well, this is our Johnny. That's our 4th year doing it. Third year doing July 4th time, and they always seem to book it during July 4th time because the show. When I wrote it purposely, I wrote it with a patriotic theme, and because all 3 guys, of course, are huge American icons, as you know.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, I'm 3 of the biggest, maybe the 3 biggest American icons in
That's
history.
right.
But it was just a concept, and I remember me and Justin were working in. We were doing a job in Palm Springs, Palm Desert, and we were driving back to Vegas because we had a few days off. And I told him about this concept I have about putting the 3 guys together and doing a show as a tribute to the country. And the theme was gonna be scripted, and the theme was that all 3 guys were gonna be on stage together to give thanks back to the country that propelled them into superstardom and made them icons and gave them all kinds of success, as we know. And Justin said, that's a great idea.
Oh, my God.
I haven't even written the
So
script.
you've been doing it 4 years?
4 years? No, we were doing it 4 years at the South Point. But as far as the show,
How long have you been doing it all together?
American Trilogy, about 5 years.
5
We
years,
were driving
American
in a
Trilogy.
car. We were driving in a car back from Palm Springs, and he said, we were talking, he said, imagine these 3 guys on stage together. We were both talking about it, and I said, we'd call that American Trilogy.
Yeah.
Then he looked at me and said, that's the name.
Well, that was it, because I didn't have a name for the show. And I said, he said to me, what are you going to call the show? And I said, I don't know, like American Icons, and he said, he did. He said, why don't you call it American Trilogy, which we know is, of course, a famous Elvis.
Famous song of Elvis, right?
Right.
And Trilogy.
And
Now,
trilogy means 3.
That's right. That's right.
And there's the 3. And I said, you know what? And that inspired me. That was what I needed was the proper name. And then I sat down to paper and I wrote a rough script. And then we came together and we smooth out the rough edges, and now it's...
I've known all 3 of you a long time, long time.
Yes, you have.
And you're fabulous guys. I feel like you're part of my family. Okay, I really do.
Here, man.
And the fact is, you're right now even in Legends in Concert over at the Flamingo, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and Legends has been now in town 35 years.
Wow.
Huh? Longest running show.
83.
83.
Wow.
Yeah, March 5, 83. That's when I brought it here, and they still have a Johnny Stewart Day on March 5. So that's the day we open. Yeah.
Oh, they should, as they should.
Thank you. Okay.
And pretty soon we'll have a Johnny Stewart impersonator.
Yeah, that's right. So I want to call it the Fortigy. But instead of trilogy, I want to be part of
The
you.
Fortigy.
The Fortigy. Okay.
I like it.
But you guys are fabulous, and I want to make sure everyone knows that they're going to get to sing. And when you do your show down at the South Point, you each do your own individual set.
Yeah.
You're going to do Frank Sinatra as you do it, Gary Anthony, right?
Yes,
okay.
absolutely.
And you're going to do your Elvis as nobody else does it any better than this guy right here.
Well, thank you very much.
So you do. Thank you very much. But there's some other good Elvises. I love all of you that work in this business and try hard and do what you're supposed to do. We are friendly and we love everybody, don't we?
That's right.
We love them all. Okay.
That's why
Because
we're going live on Facebook too.
live on Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay, so you better hope your parole officer doesn't see that. You will not be there Friday.
Because I have that little strap around my ankle.
You got that ankle. You thought that was a bracelet.
The bracelet.
Okay, and I remember you were just fabulous for us over in Hawaii and other places. Rob, you've been doing it. How long have you been doing Neil Diamond?
I started with you in '95.
95. Oh my gosh!
And
I was born in '96. So he started.
I'll never forget your first line to me because. Actually, I mean, technically, even though you were the boss, I was hired by our late friend Paul Revere.
Paul Revere. I love Paul Revere.
Paul Revere auditioned me, and he came into town, and you weren't even aware of it because he came to Hawaii, and I was doing the promo show outside, and he goes, "I'll never. Do you work for me?" That's what you said to me.
If you don't, you're going to.
Okay. I go, well, I'm in costume and I'm doing your promo, so I think I am.
Yeah, and then I remember asking you, I said, are you Andy Devine? No. So anyway, you guys are so fabulous, and I want to say, how long of the show is an hour and a half, right?
Longer.
How long is the show? 2 hours?
No, about an hour and 40 minutes.
Okay, hour and 40 minutes. And who opens the show?
This man over here.
Okay, Gary Anthony, you open the show.
You bet.
Okay, and you sing the top stars. Now, is there a band?
Oh, yeah. A 9-piece band.
9-piece band.
Yeah.
That's bigger than Legends.
Including the two girls.
Oh,
it's bigger than Legends. Now it's a bigger band than Legends.
Yeah, now it is, yeah. Okay, so we got a 9-piece band, live music, and you have 2 background singers?
Yeah, which is included in the 9 pieces.
They're part of the 9-piece band, the girls singing. And so, Ray Anthony, you, Gary
Hey, Ray,
Anthony.
how are you?
How you doing,
Ray?
I got to mix up. Okay, we like him too. Okay.
You just got a free plug, you know.
It's an accident.
Mr. Richie Valens.
Yeah, I was down and signed his parole papers yesterday. Okay, so Gary, you've been doing Frank Sinatra about 17 years.
Professionally.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
And you've been singing your whole life then, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I've been doing Frank since I was a kid.
Oh, my
My
gosh.
dad was a big band leader.
Oh, your dad's a big band leader.
Yeah, so
You're from a family of musicians.
Musicians, right, yes. He had musicians in the house when I was like 3 years old and up, so I grew up with the music.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so...
I'm going to be there Friday. You said I can't bring tomatoes? I can't bring them?
You can't bring tomatoes.
Okay, I was going to eat them. I wasn't going to
If
throw
you're going to
them.
throw something, throw like caviar.
Okay.
At least something we can eat.
You know, or something, classy.
If you catch it in the mouth.
We're in Vegas. Throw a lot of shrimp. We have a lot of that.
So you're going to be out there for what, about 20 minutes or so?
It's usually about 15 minutes.
15 minutes?
Yeah.
And then who goes on second?
Mr. Elvis Presley.
Elvis Presley, okay.
That's right.
And you're going to be out there and you're going to yodel and sing. It's like nobody can.
Yodel
You
and
can
sing and
your
play the
little self.
banjo and the bass and
a
same thing like
little bit of
we do.
everything. Okay.
No, but we also do duets.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
who
Elvis
does a duet?
All of us.
All of us.
Oh, you all do
we
duets
all do
together?
something
You all
together.
sing solos and you all sing a trio?
That's what's beautiful
The
about
trio, the trio you don't see until the very end.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's what's beautiful about this show is that we could all find a way to sing something together. Elvis sang "My Way,"
Right.
That's right.
There's connections that a lot of the general public don't.
Yeah, I don't know of 3 bigger performers than the trilogy of Frank Sinatra and Neil Diamond and Elvis Presley. I mean, let's give me a break. I mean, that's about as big as you get. There's other big ones. We love them all, and it's great, and we appreciate them all. But you guys really got it together by doing that, okay?
What's better than Lady Gaga, Madonna, and Kanye West?
That's it. And now the 3 of you I heard are
You just gave somebody an idea,
yeah.
Someone out there right now.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. That's a great concept.
Let's sign them.
That would outsell American shows.
Okay,
Next project.
Yeah. Now let me ask a question. I've heard that all three of you also just last week auditioned for Chippendales. Is that correct?
He won.
Oh, you did it, Chippendales.
Yeah, but they want me to wear a studded, a cape and
just the cape,
and the belt, and the belt, but nothing under the belt, but just the.
Yeah, I turned that gig down. I can't.
So what song do you do as a duet? Who does the first duet?
Well, there's Frank and Elvis.
Frank and Elvis.
Do you remember the time when I don't know if anybody remembers the time when Frank Sinatra and Elvis literally appeared on Frank's show?
I actually
in
saw it.
1960.
I saw it.
We replicate that.
Oh, awesome!
Yes.
Awesome, you do.
Yeah.
I actually saw that. Yeah. I think I was 1 year old. Okay, so then so you do that, and who does the second duet?
Then we do the My Way together. After that.
Oh, wow.
So we should say that. I mean, Frank is like the unofficial matriarch, the host. You know, if you so to speak. So he comes on first, and he does a solo segment, and then
the Godfather, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly, and good choice of words too, and then he brings Elvis on, and they do
two duets,
two songs together. And then he brings me on, and I do my solo spot, and then we do a mashup.
Oh, wow.
Which I'm not going to give too much away. But then Elvis comes back on and does his own concert segment. So it goes back and forth.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
What an honor it is to have all three of you here. I love you guys, and I'm so glad that you're here and you came. Now, what is this here that I'm showing? This is your program. This is your flyer for the fact that it says here. It says here, American Trilogy, an American tribute to the three of the greatest icons in popular music history: Frank Sinatra, Gary Anthony, Elvis Presley, Justin Shandor, and Neil Diamond, Mr. Rob Garrett. It says, imagine. Here's what this says. I want these people to know this, okay? Imagine if three of the biggest icons in popular music history decided to perform a concert for the sole purpose of saying thank you to the country that has been taken from them, having so little and then given them so much. United we sing at the South Point Showroom, right? South Point Showroom. You show them that while I'm reading this here. Okay, at the South Point Showroom, it's $25, and you can go to the box office and get your tickets. If you want to call the box office, you just call them at 702-797-8055.
It's actually
a great show.
There's actually three tiers of tickets. It's 25, 30, and 35.
25, 30, and 35. Three different tiers of tickets, depending if you want to sit actually in the main showroom or in the restroom.
Or on the stage.
Or on the stage. On the stage.
That's right.
Yeah, okay. All right. So listen, so this is exciting. These guys haven't just started doing this. They have all been doing this for years, doing this in great shows around. They've been in shows that I've been involved in. There have been shows they do themselves. If somebody doesn't come and get three good guys like this and keep them working, guess what? You do it yourself.
That's right. That's
you
right.
guys are animals.
And
you don't take no for an answer. You go do yourself. Okay. The only person you guys have to answer to. Are you married now?
No, I'm not.
You're not. So you don't have I Are you married?
Nope.
No boss.
He has a boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see you crying a lot. I love your wife, so it's okay.
Oh, thank you.
But I
I
haven't
love her
taken
too.
her out for a while. But hey, when
She's been talking about you.
Yeah, now that when you're working at Legends, I can go over there.
I was wondering about
Yeah, okay.
Hey, Janelle.
Wondering why all the food in my refrigerator is always missing.
Yeah, it's missing, especially the ice cream. Okay, so you don't want to miss this. This is a big thing, okay?
I'm going to say something. I know people are posting comments as we're doing it, but the phones are too far away to where we can actually see the comments.
Go ahead and talk to your people.
But I mean, if you look at the phone,
these cameras.
If you look at the phones, you'll see there are comments and people are saying hello, but we really can't see it because we're not close enough to the phones. But we want to say.
I see one of the comments right here. Johnny Stuart is the only good-looking guy up there.
Yeah, there you
Did you
go.
read that? Can you see that?
Written by Johnny Stewart. I see that. Somehow you're posting that yourself.
Hey, wait, we could add one more star to this. My brother's name is Rod Stewart.
I knew that.
We could add him to this. Now you got four of you.
Except Rod Stewart, your brother's American, but the real Rod Stewart is not.
Oh, it's okay.
So it wouldn't be an American trilogy.
So they would, if you were living in town here, Rod Stewart, they would have you in their show.
Absolutely.
That's a fact, right?
The United States Rod Stewart.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. So anyway, listen, I want to ask you this. Let's take this calmly. We got a little time here. Right now, Gary Anthony, what are you doing other than this here, American Trilogy? What are you doing? How do you keep your career going? What's going on with you?
Well, I do a lot of conventions.
You do?
Yeah.
And you do it even by yourself?
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
Either that or with the
now,
Rat
when
Pack.
you say you do conventions, you're not talking about sweeping the floor and mopping and all that. You actually are
I do all
singing.
the electrical work.
Okay. You're actually doing Mr. Sinatra.
Yes.
Okay.
And also with the Rat Pack.
Oh, with the Rat Pack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Frank, Sammy, and Dean. All the
Right. So you do the Rat Pack and you do the Trilogy Pack.
Right.
All right. That's fabulous, and it's an honor to have you guys doing that. How long have you been in Vegas, Gary?
I moved here in '94.
Wow, so you've been here quite a while, and you're doing that, and you enjoy doing what you're doing?
Absolutely, I love it.
And you've been doing Frank Sinatra since you were a kid?
Yeah, I've been listening to him since I was a kid. I wore out all his records. I couldn't stop listening to that voice.
That's amazing.
It just stuck with me.
You guys got to come and see this show. If you don't see it, you're crazy. Because, I mean, these guys, it's your 4th year, right?
Yeah.
4th year here, and you're doing this. Okay. And you do lots of other things. I know last year you and I went down and we judged the Elvis contest down in Mesquite.
We did.
Yeah.
That was fun.
And we were there doing that and picked a number 1 Elvis because you weren't in it. Huh?
Oh, I'm busy on the road.
Yeah, you're busy on the road. You're busy mowing the lawn and doing exactly what your wife tells you.
The thing was, they wouldn't let him in it because they thought, me being a judge, that I'd be biased because obviously he's part of,
Oh,
we
that's
know
it.
each other a long time.
Yeah.
But the guy that won is subs for Justin sometimes, and you know him real well. And you agree with me. And
Travis Allen.
Travis won. Yeah,
Travis is great.
And he deserved it.
He's a great kid. He's a great guy. He has a show here in town called All Shook Up.
He does.
Yeah.
He does. And
and every time I see my wife, I get all shook up. So anyway, that's the way
even
that
to
goes.
this day. That's
now, and you, my friend Justin Shandor, moved here from Detroit.
Yep.
Right? And you've been singing all over, doing it. You have a great voice. When did you start doing Elvis, my friend?
I started when I was 16 years old. I moved to Vegas, and I auditioned in a place called the Elvis-orama Museum when that was here. And,
over on Industrial.
Yeah, guy hired me over there. I was 16. I was doing 9 shows a day over there, and then going
I actually saw you over there.
You did see me over there.
I remember. I did.
And I used to go to the Strip and do 2 shows at the Frontier when the Frontier was still around.
That's right.
And I just kept very busy, and got discovered by another agent from Oregon, and was all over that part of the country.
Yeah. Is he still
weekend.
Working with you sometimes too?
He still is. He was my manager for many, many years, but now I'm finally on my own. But he kept me working like crazy.
He's a great guy too.
Great.
I met him.
100 shows
Absolutely.
a year.
And so
I think I've met him once or twice.
Yeah, you know.
So how do you get out of Legends to go do this show here?
How do we get? Oh well, we have another fella coming.
Yeah. Okay. So you established that ahead of time. I want the audience to know something here.
They told me I was the hardest guy they ever had to book. Too many days out.
Okay, so I wanted the people in our audience and on our phones here that are watching and everything to know, you 3 guys have to control and manage and work yourselves to make sure everything is working correctly.
That's right.
Okay? You realize that no matter how many managers you have, no matter how many shows there are, you wake up yourself.
That's right.
You look in the mirror, the man in the mirror. That's where you're at every day, right?
That's right.
The man in the mirror. Okay, and therefore you have to create.
Every day you have to wake up and you got to think to yourself, what do I got to do? I got to do something today to further my career. Who should I call? What should I do? Every day.
That's right.
It's not a normal job. It's a weird way of making a living, but it's a job.
But it's rewarding too, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
When you're up there and the audience is out there.
Right.
Yeah. Last week I saw Donnie Edwards there.
Yes.
Yeah, and he did a good job too. He's a great guy.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of you guys are so great. I want the audience to know that these are great guys. Ethically and and they're just great guys, and they're I'm very honored to have them on my show and to be able to still know them, to be able to be on good terms with them and be able to do this, because these guys work hard, they deserve it, they're extremely talented, and they do things that are honorable. They do things, you got to go. I'm telling you right now, you got to go on Friday night next week. What day of the month is that? Is that on the 30th?
It starts on the 30th, yeah.
It starts
June 30th, July 1 and 2.
Okay, June 30 and July 1 and 2. You got to go see this, because it's a great thing. And all three of these guys are big enough and masters of themselves enough and talented enough that they do shows on their own. But imagine putting all three of them together, huh? That was a good comment you made. Call ourselves Trilogy.
Well,
yeah, only an Elvis guy could think of that.
Only a brain that's similar to yours could think like that.
Yeah, I would have thought it was like what kind of fool am I? That's what I would have come up with.
What kind of fool am I?
Good thing we didn't have you in the mix when we were coming up with the name.
We're a modern day Rat Pack, if you think about it.
That's right, we are.
Yeah, you're a modern day Rat Pack.
When you watch this show, you're going to actually think about it. You're going to think like, this takes me back to the old days of Vegas when these guys were kind of just joking around on stage.
Okay, and we have some video.
But we still have freedom.
We're going to come and talk to you privately in 1 second. We have some video, right?
Yes, we do.
Okay, you ready for the video, Scott? Oh, he does this. Where's the video?
I emailed it to him.
Scott at WCOBM.TV.
Last night.
Did you see it?
You sure you didn't do .com? I don't see anything in here.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have is there any way you can go? Tell him a site he can go to, and while we're talking, we'll see if we can get some video. What could he go to?
To www.americantrilogy.net.
Okay, AmericanTrilogy.net. See if you can find that, and then we'll keep talking, and we'll see. Want to show him a little video, okay? Okay. Tell him one more time. www.americantrilogy.net.
Yeah, and it's also on this. It might be. It's on the American Trilogy Facebook page. The same promotional video.
Okay, American Trilogy Facebook page. We want this audience that's watching us now to see these guys live. As soon as you find it, Scott, let's play it. Okay.
I'll tell you when I find it.
Okay, yeah, if you go to the American Trilogy Facebook page, there'll be a video there as well. And my own Facebook page is the showcases the video.
Okay, and your Facebook page is what?
Rob Garrett, Neil Diamond.
Rob Garrett, Neil Diamond. Yeah. One of those you'll find it. And as soon as you do, we want to play the whole thing. How long is it about?
It's about 7 minutes.
Oh, we want to play all of it because you guys are worth it, okay?
Thank you.
You guys are worth 70 minutes times 70. You know? That's what you're worth. Okay, so right now, until that comes up right now, I want to speak to Rob Garrett, okay?
Yes, sir.
The kind of the formation of this thing came from you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And that is because you are talented, you are a producer, you've had a good career, you have a good reputation. Tell me right now, how long have you been doing Neil Diamond?
I've been doing Neil Diamond for 23 years, but I've been performing. I've lived in this town since '74.
And you were performing, even though you didn't know you were Neil Diamond at the moment.
Correct,
right?
Because you actually came to when you first came to town, and I won't forget this either. You came to see my band, which was Rock and Roll Heaven.
And Rock and Roll Heaven.
And you told me a story, many years later, and you came to. We were in a little bar. We were just probably in our first year of formation, and you came with our friend George Trellinger. He brought you.
I love George. Yeah. George Trellinger, hi. Yeah. You guys all know George Trellinger?
Yes, we do.
Hey, say hi to George.
Hi, George. And you guys came into this little dinky bar that we were playing at, and it was our house job. And you introduced yourself to me, and you told me, I'm going to open the show, because we were called Rock and Roll Heaven. You said, I'm going to be opening the show called Legends in Concert. And, at the time, you were only showcasing deceased people.
Yes, they were all deceased people, right. In fact, before I opened the show, there were about 4 or 5 people I had to have killed.
Yeah.
That's
the funniest thing you said all day.
No, listen. No, you can't blame me for that. Listen, there were some stars I wanted on the show, and I only used deceased people. You can't blame me for that.
Had whacked.
Yeah, you can't blame me for that. Yeah, I had several killed.
You had to do what you got to do.
Yeah, if you want to lock me up, I mean, but I saw, before I did it, I negotiated up with the guy upstairs. They went right to heaven.
Statute of limitations.
Yeah, statute of limitations.
Yeah. So, but here's what you said to me later on, and many years later when I was working for you.
The killing was a joke. Okay, go ahead.
You said to me, I remember you said to me, when I first came to town, I was actually going to call my show Rock and Roll Heaven. And you said,
because they were all deceased people.
Right, and you said, and then I found out there was a band
named Rock and Roll Heaven.
In so you said I changed it, so I changed it to
Legends in Concert.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah, that was a compliment to me.
Well, that was good.
For a reason, though. It's a perfect name for it.
That was a good thing. And you know what was funny was I did only deceased people. Then I started doing 3 or 4 shows around the country, and they were just deceased people. And I had to wait a long time for people to die. You know what I mean? It was a horrible thing. You know, I would look at pictures and go, yeah, this guy's got to die sometime. No, I didn't do that. Wait a minute. Okay, now we're back to normal. Okay, but what happened was I went to John Asquaga's Nugget, and they asked for Neil Diamond.
I was going to say, I think he was one of your first live.
He was one of my first ones.
Living people.
Yeah.
Right?
So I went up and parked by his house, but he never came out. I was trying to, get him.
Well, he knew you were trying to kill him.
So they said we want Neil Diamond, Barbra Streisand, and this person. And that. Oh, some of those are living. Okay, so what can I do? So I decided to love living people too, because you know what? The truth of the thing is here. All joking aside, the truth is that the songs, the music, and the image never dies.
Right.
Isn't that right?
Right.
And that's what I said.
Right.
Legends in Concert, a tribute to the superstars. The music never dies. That was a lot of the caption that I put in. A lot of these people would sing live. So then I started really looking, because you know how Legends came about was I was the actual manager of about 7 different nightclubs in Orange County and Newport Beach area and Buena Park area.
Beautiful area.
Yeah, and so I would actually have to go around and kind of see that these people had people to attend it. So I started having lots of contests. I had gong shows, I had look-alike show, Marilyn Monroe night, Elvis Presley night, whoever it was. I started having all these shows. And then all at once I decided to think, hey, let's try to see if some of these people could sound like them. So not only you had to look like them, you had to sound like them, and that was clear back in 81 and 80 that I started doing all that. Right. And then all at once we had contests, and I had Buddy Holly. George Trulinger kept coming by the room, and I was actually entertaining in a lot of these clubs. I would go from one club to the other as a singer and do all this, and I had bands in every club. So the fact is that George Trulinger came by one night, and he did Buddy Holly, and he did different people were doing different things, and so I started forming it all together. And the first big show we did was at Chapman College in Orange, and it was called Legends in Concert. So that's how we did it.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's how that all happened.
Legends in Concert when you came to town.
When I came to town, we had the name, but we had also played with the name Rock and Roll Heaven. Yeah. Rock and Roll Heaven, because that's what it was.
And he told me that story.
Yeah,
he said, but we went with Legends because there was already a notable band in this town with that name.
And so Legends now is 35 years, and it's given a lot of us work, right? Myself as well as you guys. The only person I ever played in the very beginning was Marilyn Monroe. You ever seen me do Marilyn?
I've never seen that video.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll show you.
But I heard about it.
You heard about it?
I'm glad I never saw that, because I don't think I'd be right after that. So, I have to sing that.
Okay. So anyway, so you
guys... right anyway.
So anyway, that's right. So Legends became a situation where it was the songs, it was the image, it was the people. Imagine what these people have done to our society. And there's a lot of them living today that will pass on as legends also, But you guys are keeping the legends alive. That's what you're doing. It's an honor what you're doing.
Can I tell you something? One thing I want to specify about the American Trilogy show, which I didn't get to say earlier, even though two of our guys are deceased, and one's breathing heavy, and but we do it as if we're in modern times. So the show is occurring today. It's a fantasy show, as if Frank and Elvis.
That's right.
We're still around, and so we approach it like it's happening right now.
Do any of you ever go out and pretend like you're not those tribute artists and you just do yourself? Do you do that sometimes? Do you? Do you sometimes just go out as Justin Chandler?
You want to tell them about the garage?
Well, I'm not only just an Elvis vocalist. I'm a vocalist of all sorts of music: American Songbook, Broadway, country, jazz, all kinds of stuff. If you go to my Facebook page, you'll find me singing everything and anything.
Now, you're a beautiful voice. I know great vocalist. So sometimes you just do Justin Chandler.
Oh yeah, of course. Okay. Well, I've got to be me. And Sammy Davis Jr.
Well, we should have sung that.
Yeah. Okay. You've got to be me. That's good.
Mm-hmm. And in my case, I mean, I got to be me for 15 years with my band, and, you know, doing the band stuff.
Before you started doing Rob?
Neil Diamond.
Before you started doing Neil Diamond?
Yeah, I had the band for 15 years. Rock and Roll Heaven I had for 15 years.
In the Rock and Roll Heaven, did you do tributes to stars in that band? You did, as far as I remember.
You're right, and we but not with dressing up like them.
Oh, you didn't try to be them all the way. It was mainly a musical tribute.
And I mean, we all sang, everyone in my band, but in my case, I would do my best. I'm not saying I always nailed it, because of course, but I would always try my best to try and sound like, whether it was a Beach Boys song or a Beatles song. Or
did you know I was one of the Beach Boys?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
All right. So was my brother Rod. He was one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I did.
So,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's true.
That?
Yeah, before they became so famous, or we would have never left, right?
Right.
So I left to impersonate myself, and when I left, they became the Beach Boys. Not too smart, huh? No, yeah, okay.
We all make mistakes.
Anyway, I think they're fabulous too. My brother Rod's fabulous. Everybody's doing it. So, do you do yourself sometimes, Gary?
I have no problem on being out of the realm of Frank.
All right, but when you were out of the realm of Frank, are you still Frank?
No, I'm perfectly. I'll be perfectly frank.
It's going to be perfectly frank.
You came from a family band. You want to tell them about that a little bit? Come on.
Actually,
very talented.
In the early days, I was in a family band called the Allens, and we were on teen magazines. We were with Mike Hurd Productions at the time. We were on the Motown label with a song called High Tide. The Osmonds wrote it, and we sang it, and it became a semi-hit until disco came in and knocked us out. But it was a fun time to do. We were on American Bandstand, Johnny Carson, Merv Griffin, all those other great shows.
Well, isn't that great?
Yeah, so that was my early life.
Yeah,
and then after I left that, I went back to Frank.
Yeah, that's
because
good.
As a kid, I started.
Isn't it amazing if we're entertainers how many things we do to try to keep ourselves not only working but ourselves motivated and ourselves doing it
and sane too.
Yeah, and sane. Yeah, right. You know, I mainly did lots of musical comedies. I'm a dramatic tenor, and I've probably done hundreds of musical comedies all over the world as a singer in shows. Did Lancelot and Camelot and Fiddler on the Roof. I traveled around with Theodore Mikell doing Fiddler on the Roof for years and all that.
I've heard you sing.
So we all get into something.
Yeah.
In fact, we're doing a show. You guys might want to come to it. I don't. If you guys wanted to sing at it, you'd let me know now, and you could sing at it. But I'll tell you right now, there's a show being done on Sunday. Okay, this coming Sunday, and that show is called Biggest Talent, and it's a battle of the countries. It's an American Idol, but all the countries around the world, over 100 countries participated. Wow. That's who was on my show just before you guys came on. Those were 4 of the winners from that show, and there's going to be 4 more winners. There's 8 winners total, and I'm going to put a couple of groups on that are going to sing and do something. But anyway, so the fact is, they're going to have comics. I'm emceeing it. I'm actually singing at it. Yeah, I'm going to sing in Watch Out World, I'm Coming Through. Nothing can stop them now. And then so I'm doing a whole thing that popping. So we're going to have a big show. It's from 10:30 in the morning at the David Sachs Theater.
Yep.
Okay. And it's from 10:30 till 1 o'clock. And so if any of you want to come and see that, you're welcome to do it.
Sounds exciting.
It's a big thing, but it's the biggest talent show because it's from all around the world. And this is the 4th year they've done it. Okay, and so now I'm on there as the kind of coordinator, and we're working with Dan Setgast and also Pete Demas and all these people and Unicorn Network working with that show. So any of you want to come see that, do it. But mainly, you don't want to miss. You don't want to miss this show from these 3 guys, Trilogy, at South Point, 7:30, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the 30th of June, and the 1st and 2nd of July, because it's going to be a big bang. That was good for the 4th of July.
That was good.
I did that myself.
You know, there's going to be a lot of sparks, a lot of fireworks.
Thank you. Okay. So now, what would you guys like to say about yourselves individually or collectively that we could all hear you say and talk about? You want to share something? And for example, you have a website, right?
Yes.
Tell them about your website.
Yeah, my website is for celebrity impersonators and bands and what have you. It's majorep.com.
What's the total website is what?
It's basically an agency.
Yeah, I know, but what do you call it? What is it? Say the name.
majorep.com. It's Major Entertainment Production.
Major, M-A-J-O-R.
M-A-J-O-R.
Okay.
EP like Elvis Presley.
So you said it's an agency. Do you handle other performers?
Oh, yes, I do, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you have an agency, plus you perform yourself.
Yes. Well, actually, I started it just to promote myself back in 2000, but then I ended up people asking me for, you got Elvis, you got this, you got that.
So how long have you had your own agency, Gary?
Since 2000.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So people wanted to audition for you or join your agency or get represented by you after they audition, of course. They go to what again?
MajorEP.com.
MajorEP.com.
Right.
And you would look at them. They send in videos or they tell you whether your YouTube is or something, and you look at them and then you negotiate.
Yeah.
And you're an agent.
Yeah,
okay, that's awesome.
How come you never booked me?
Yeah, you never booked me.
I call you all. I call him.
I'm a Chippendale dancer.
I call him all the time. He's not even available.
I've given him a lot more work.
Yeah,
than he's given.
That's true. That's true.
He gives you.
I'm mostly called.
He's a bird dog for your agency.
Oh no, I want to hear.
I'm mostly called for Rat Pack.
I want to hear this.
I'm mostly called for Rat Pack.
No, when they call you for Elvis, you put the wig on and the sideburns, and you put the jumpsuit on and go do it. That's the problem.
Or Neil Diamond, he says, I'm not calling Rob Garrett. He's like, I do Neil. I can do Neil Diamond.
That's what's going on.
I can do Neil.
I can do it.
No, I'm more established with Frank and Rat Pack shows.
Okay,
I'm really established for that.
Okay,
but
right now, Rob Garrett.
Yes,
you've been doing it here in town and around the country for a long time, and you're creative, and you put this group together. What else do you do besides? You just mainly do entertainment, don't you? Every time I see you, you're doing something in the entertainment world.
And you know, I also have the agency and so forth. But in the last, I have my own agency. But the truth is, in the last 5 years, the Neil Diamond thing is. Even though I've been doing it for 23 years, and here in Vegas, it's really
taking your time,
elevated for me.
Yeah, that's fabulous.
And going to the cannery, going to the stations, all the Sun City properties.
Yeah, name some of the places where you entertain, so these people can go watch you.
Yep. Well, I've got the cannery come up August 26th. I do it every year.
How many people play behind you to support you?
Anywhere from 6 to 9.
6 to 9 people. Yeah. That's a big show.
And then, of course, there are rare occasions that I, go on the road and I bring my CD with me.
Oh.
When they don't want to hire the band.
Yeah. So you have click tracks or backup music that you play.
But I'm also going up to the for the first time ever on July 22nd to the Sanders Winery in Palm.
Right.
And that's a first for me. Yeah,
nice place.
Yeah. And again, cannery, going on my 7th year.
7th year. Working with the cannery.
Hot August night. And a mesquite. We don't want to leave out. We don't want to leave out.
Chrissy?
We don't want to leave out Chrissy and Casablanca on August 19th up there doing.
Are you going to be there August 19th?
Yeah.
Well, make sure our audience knows wherever you guys are going to be. You can see him in Legends in concert, right? Mm-hmm. And that's every night, every day. Sometimes at 4, sometimes at 9:30. On weekends, then it's at 7:30 and 9:30, right?
Schedule changes all the time.
Yeah, that's okay.
I'd like to give a shout out to my friends in Temecula.
Do it. Shout out. You want to call them a name? You give them a shout out.
My friends and family in Temecula. Now, I'll be there Thursday, the day before Trilogy. I'll be there doing a show for a tribute to Sinatra.
In Temecula?
In Temecula, Old Town Temecula Community Theater.
I know exactly where. I love Temecula.
Yeah, I love it too.
Kind of a little cute western town.
Yeah.
Really cute.
I know, really, I was driving through there about 2 weeks ago, and I said, I'm coming back
So, besides Saturday then, so Friday, Saturday, and Sunday next week, where are you else performing? Give us some
Well, I did. Then a couple weeks after that, I do the Sanders Winery.
Yeah, you did.
And then I'm going to Salt Lake City in early August.
Give them your website.
Oh, my website is www.robgarrettasneildiamond.com.
Okay, that's great. And you have an agency too. Okay.
I do.
You have quite a few people you kind of manage and
for many years.
Yep.
Okay, now and like I said, I booked both of these guys as themselves.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
I mean, I mean alone. I mean, when I said that as themselves.
Yeah. And the reason you put together Trilogy is because instead of booking them alone, you put them together. That way, you got a third of the cut. I know.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Third? Exactly.
Well, okay, 50%. Okay. You're smarter than I thought. Okay. Now, what else are you doing? Are you singing somewhere else recently? How long are you going to be with Legends right now?
I'm doing a lot. You can go to my website and find out, JustinShandor.com. But mostly I just want to say, man, I feel very blessed. I really do. I came here at 16 years old, and had this dream to work on this trip and possibly work in Legends in concert and all that stuff, you know. And here I am. I am working in Legends. Unfortunately, you're not my boss, but I wish you were.
I'm still your boss. Don't forget.
You still are. You
don't forget it. Don't forget.
But I wanted to say, I feel very fortunate to be, you know, thinking about that so many years ago, thinking I want to do that, and then all of a sudden I'm sitting here talking to you and working for Legends and doing so much more with American Trilogy than I ever thought I'd be doing. So, yeah, I feel very, very blessed, man. You're the father of impersonators.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that.
You are. Yes.
And you. So I'm your father. I'm your actual father.
Dad.
You're supposed to say, I'm your father.
I need a loan.
I need a loan. Why did you say that? Okay.
I want to get a new car.
Listen. Well, I want you to go see American Trilogy. You want to see it down at the South Point, and that is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this coming weekend, the 30th and the 1st and 2nd of July. You don't want to miss it. 7:30, $25, $30, and $35. Right?
Good memory.
I'm good. Yeah, we're getting that all in there. And these are three of my most admired best friends. I love them all. And thank you very much, guys.
You're coming to see us.
I'm coming to see you Friday.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, John.
Love you all. Thank you, Johnny Stuart and friends. Come back and see us. Thank you.
Really, the reason for us, all three of us being here this evening, is only one reason, that is to give thanks to this country for taking us, all three of us, and I'm speaking on behalf of all three of us, of little means and giving us quite a bit of success. And you know, that's what America's always been about. You know, the American dream.
The place I work in, the worker by my side, a little town or city where my people lived and died. The howdy and the handshake, the air of feeling free, and the right to speak your mind out. That's America to me. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. You know your daddy was bound to die. But my trials, Lord, will soon be over.
Welcome to the Friday version of the Sports Circus. This segment is brought to you by, or actually today's show is brought to you by, the American Business Trust Company, specializing in startup consulting, sales and marketing, corporate strategy, and investment capital. You can visit them online at abtrustco.com or call 657-600-1876 and give them a call. They can sure help your business today with all those things and a heck of a lot more. We can actually maybe get you a little discount if you mention the Sports Circus. So, I am your host and ringmaster, Sal, and I have a special guest today, Thomas El Animal Herrera.
Thank you, Sal. Thanks for the invitation. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, great to have you here. We've had you here before, and we've seen your knockouts on TV, right? Great stuff.
Yeah.
And tell everybody what you're up to these days.
Well, I'm just back in training camp. I had a couple weeks off. Went on vacation, Mexico, Arizona. Shout out to my people in the 520, Tucson, Arizona. Back in training camp.
Vacation. He's going to Mexico. Anyway.
And now it's back to, get back in the business and start training, getting ready for the next fight, possibly end of July, August, depending, negotiations. But yeah, we're back in business.
That's great. And where's your next fight? What do you think it's going to be, here in Las Vegas?
I hope it's here in Vegas because.
Me too, so I can go.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely. I mean, it's fight.
Remember what happened last time I went?
Yeah, it was a show.
Folks, I ran the camera, and here's this guy scoring a huge knockout in an improbable, according to the crowd that is, in an improbable situation, but this guy just flat out lifted the legs up off the other guy. His feet were up in the air. Great video. We aired the video a couple of months ago. Great stuff. This guy can pack a punch. So, speaking of packing a punch, let's talk a little bit about this upcoming fight between Mayweather and Conor McGregor. Now, I know you're a boxing guy, and I know you have a definite opinion, so everybody at home certainly wants to hear your opinion.
Right. Well, I'm definitely a Mayweather fan. It's but I mean, hopefully it'll be a great show. It'll be entertaining. But at the end of the day, Mayweather is one of the best boxers in the world, and against an MMA guy, it's like. If he doesn't do nothing in the first three rounds, then it's gonna go the distance. Mayweather's gonna got the win.
You think it'll just be one of those if he doesn't try, because McGregor's going to try to land early, right? Because he's not used to going 12 rounds. He's used to going 5 rounds maybe, right? But in full contact, his stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, he's used to taking big shots, bloody shots, and not having a fight called because of some blood, right? And they're used to being on the canvas too. So this is kind of interesting. So how many times do you think Mayweather has been on the canvas in 49 wins?
None.
Right. That's my point. And how many times do you think that people have gotten up from the canvas from a Mayweather fight and not been called out? How many times did that happen, do you think?
It's a good question, but yeah, definitely McGregor, he has the chin, so I don't think Floyd will knock him out, but I see unanimous decision, Floyd wins.
But wouldn't that be kind of a disappointment in the boxing world?
True, but that's what the fan wants. That's what the fans want.
Is this going to be what the fans want, or is this Floyd's ego saying, "I need to knock him out for the boxing world"?
I think it's both. I mean, like I said, hopefully we're hoping for an entertaining fight, and that's what we want to see.
Oh, it'll be entertaining.
Yeah.
It's only going to be entertaining because McGregor's going to keep marching right at Mayweather. Now, I've been talking about this fight for the last 6 months. The Sports Circus called it. We knew it was going to happen right here in the fight capital of the world. Right? We knew it was going to happen here in Vegas. We just didn't know it was at the MGM, but it was kind of probable that it would. But you got to remember, McGregor's just going to keep marching right at him. I mean, you can't run for 12 rounds. At some point, you're going to have to fight.
Right.
Now, Mayweather's elusive, right? He makes people miss or half hits or whatnot, right? And, when someone hitting him, maybe he'll turn back, whatever. But the point is, at some point, McGregor is going to land something. He has the fighter's chance, right? The puncher's chance.
Yeah, I mean, there's always that possibility. They're both throwing punches, but there's always that punch you don't see coming, and lights out, you're out.
Well, yeah, but how many times has Mayweather not seen a punch come, though? I mean,
he has been rocked. He has been rocked a few times.
Well, he's going to see the big wind-up by McGregor because McGregor is very unorthodox. He's not your standard boxer, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't have any real boxing experience, right? So with all the punches that Mayweather has seen, he's going to see the big wind-up, right? It's going to come, and he's going to be able to duck and dodge out of the way. But can he dodge the deke? Right?
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Yeah, that's what I'm really interested in because here's allegedly the best defensive fighter of our generation. But what I don't see is this guy escaping everything. Now he has been hit, but I don't think he's been hit by somebody like this. What do you think about that?
I think you're right. I mean, McGregor, he's younger. He's strong. So there's always that possibility. It just takes one punch, to take you down, and that's what we're going to see.
Right. Well, we've got the 4-ounce gloves versus the big pillows. Right. I mean, you still get knocked out with the big pillows, right?
Oh, yeah.
But this is a guy that's used to getting hit with 4-ounce gloves in every possible way. So it would take a monumental hit by Mayweather to take out McGregor. I really believe that. He's not going to knock him out. I would almost bet on that. I'm not going to bet, but I would almost bet on it. But it's going to be very entertaining. But I'm very curious to see what the betting lines are. I haven't taken a look at the sports book yet. I'm sure it's a huge favorite in Mayweather's decision. But I wonder what the knockout odds are. That's the most exciting part about it, because out of the millions of people that are going to do pay-per-view on this, which that's the next segment we talk about the money side of it. Out of the millions of people watching, how many people want to see a knockout and not a snooze fest like Pacquiao and Mayweather? Right?
Yeah.
Tell everybody at home what you want to see.
I want to see an action-packed fight and somebody get knocked out. Entertaining fight.
And who do you want to see get knocked out?
McGregor, of course. You got McGregor, right?
Yeah, man.
I got Mayweather.
Yeah, well, that's okay.
Just place a small bet right now.
What do you got? You got to give me these odds.
Okay. I got Mayweather, unanimous decision. He wins unanimous decision.
You have to give me some odds on that.
Okay.
You have to. I mean, that's like a 3-1. I mean, I want 3 meals of my choice, whatever that may be. We'll put a cap on it. But you guys don't know about that. We'll put a cap on it financially, and then to the 1 for what you want. And again, we'll put a cap on it. All right?
Sounds good.
All right. See, now that's a puncher hitting a non-puncher's hand. All right, exactly. So we're going to see how that one plays out. But, man, there's going to be a knockout. I really believe there's going to be a knockout. And I think for the sports, for both sports, and listen, our producer Scott over here, he's a big MMA guy, right? Okay. And so I think that Scott would argue also that a knockout has to happen for either side, because for boxing, their credibility is on the line, right? And for MMA, imagine if McGregor goes in there and knocks out this king of the little guys, right? Yeah. Okay, fine. So if he does that, I mean, imagine what that does for MMA. Scott, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, UFC has everything to gain. Boxing has everything to lose in this fight.
Absolutely. And I share the same feeling. It's not whether I want this one or that one, although it would be nice if Floyd would do something for his community instead of just flash his money around everybody. Nobody cares that he has stacks and stacks around, because that doesn't make him a better human. It just makes him a wealthier human, right? What have you done for your community? Why doesn't he take some of these ridiculous amounts of money that he's going to pay in taxes anyway and give it to a cause? Sure, he'll get the write-off for it, but he'll go from zero to hero in the public's eyes very quickly, because the general public really doesn't like him too much because he flashes his money around. Look what I got. Nobody cares. I mean, think about that. If you were that guy, would you share and do the right thing for the community?
Yeah, definitely. I'll give it back.
Think about what that's worth to you, right? Okay, never mind the money that you would redistribute. Let's say you had $50 million, like he's got 700. You had $50 million to redistribute to the masses. Now, whether it's in Tucson, whether it's in Vegas, whether it's in Mexico, it doesn't matter. Think about the value that brings to you from the humanistic side. Never mind the financial value, which we'll get into that in the next segment, but think about what you would do. And we're going to come back with your answer, because there's a lot of questions out there. I had this conversation with Bronco Billy Wright yesterday, and Billy had some great answers. And we'll see you in just a minute here on the Sports Circus. Okay, welcome to segment 2 of the Sports Circus. This is our Friday edition, and we have a regular daily version that can be found. Well, pick your favorite radio station across America. It's getting that way, folks. We're 5 to 6 p.m. in Las Vegas on 670 The Score. We're on the same time, 5 to 6 p.m. on KCAA in Southern California on it's AM 1050, FM 102.3, and FM 106.5. Also, you can listen to us on Tuesday nights on 100.7 FM in Phoenix and on 1060 AM. This is crazy, folks. Now, we just signed on the Memphis market, so you'll be able to hear us in Memphis and actually portions of 8 states around the Memphis area, which is fantastic. And also, you'll be able to hear us in Buffalo and Niagara Falls and in Toronto, and that's an NBC affiliate. That would be, oh shoot, I think it's 105.3 FM. Anyway, my point is, check the Sports Circus website. Go to www.thesportscircus.com. Then you can check all this information out. Give us about a week or so to update the site. Even the site's becoming new. There's just so much going on with the site, and the show's blowing up. It's absolutely blown up. And we may even go 5 to 7 p.m. every day. That's on the drive time. So all you watching out there, just make sure you tune in on your radio as well. And if you want to stream the show live, you can actually stream it from thesportscircus.com as well. All right, now, all of that out of the way, you were thinking about money that you would spend. If you had $50 million, how would you spend it in a charitable means?
Definitely give back, to the community, to your hometown. Like, for example, Manny Pacquiao in the Philippines, he built I don't know how many homes for his people, just brand new homes. He just so I mean, that's a good cause. I would probably do something like that.
Well, again, tell everybody who you are, because I failed to mention at the start of the segment who you are. So look into the camera and tell everybody who you are again.
Thomas Herrera, the Animal. I fight at 130, and I'm back in training camp. Still no fight date, but I'll keep you updated. So keep you posted.
Yes, you will. Here, let me move this closer so you can sit back and relax.
Okay.
All right. And now, so I had this question for Bronco Billy Wright. You know, for those who don't know, Billy's got 4 WBC belts. He's 330, 6'5". His hands are like that. I've never seen a hand with muscles in it. I mean, he can actually flex the muscles in his hand. That's crazy, folks. Anyway, he is 52-4, last 19 by knockout, taking everyone's lunch money. And, you know, the guy's a wrecking machine. He's still doing it. He's 52 years old, and he's still doing it. Very scary guy. So Billy's our regular in-studio analyst Monday through Friday as well, so make sure you tune in. And all those in Hawaii as well, of course, you can hear us on 96.7 FM and 11:30 a.m. and on Oceanic Time Warner Cable as well from 7 to 8 p.m. every day except Friday. So we've blown up. So everybody hears Billy, everybody hears the show, and when we asked Billy, he said, I would go to the north part of Las Vegas, or maybe to Central Phoenix or something. And all those people living in cardboard boxes, build some shelters so people could actually live, and like when it's 190 degrees outside, like today, so people aren't dying in the streets. Right? You know, a real humanitarian effort. And I would like to see Mayweather do something with his mad money, because he doesn't seem to do it. I mean, do you know more than we, as the general public, about this? What does he do?
I mean, I've heard that, you know, he has like his food truck and he just gives food to the homeless or the homeless.
Well, that's great. It's just, see, the thing is, if the general public hasn't heard about it, we wonder, you know, what is he really doing besides showing off on all your social media with stacks and stacks of money? Yeah.
Strippers.
Yeah, right, strippers, exactly. I think he has a strip club too. I don't know. I'm not sure about it. So you would do what if you had $50 million to spend?
Definitely give back to the community.
How would you do it?
That's for sure. Well, you know, I'm from Tucson, Arizona, so
that's the 520.
Yeah, the 520, and do the same. You know, create like a homeless shelter, and yeah, just you know, I'll be supporting the cause and just giving out food, clothes, whatever they need, water.
Right. Well, that's good. Now we have our in-house resident MMA expert, our engineer Scott, with us as well. And now, Scott, if you had $50 million extra in your world, I mean, just imagine that idea, how would you handle that?
I don't know. I'd probably find some kind of charities that I want to help. But I'd definitely hook up all my friends and family.
Well, right, after you hook up your friends and family, and here's the thing, either you're going to pay the IRS a bunch of money in taxes, or you could take that money that you're going to pay in taxes, or a large portion of it, and you could donate it to particular causes or whatever to help the masses, right? Because that's the one good thing about the IRS is they'll let you do that for the greater good. So after you hook your friends and family up, right, and your colleagues and your friends, right, you know, all the people that matter in your world, you know, big smoke screen over here. But think about this. How would you spend an extra $50 million? See, what we're trying to do, Floyd, is we're trying to give you some ideas on how to be a better human. Okay, as you were.
Let's see. I wonder, I'm going to look it up. Let's see if he's donated to any charity.
Okay, he's going to look it up. In the meantime, let's think about this. He's going to make $175 million guaranteed off this fight. McGregor's going to make $100 million. And don't forget, that's guaranteed money, right? And what's the taxes payable on $175 million? It seems to me it's going to be somewhere around $80 million. So here's the argument. This is why we're talking about it. That's the guaranteed money. That's not all the extra pay-per-view money, right? And that could make it go up another couple $100 million, right? These guys could make $500 million on this.
Wow.
Right. Are you going to pay $100 to watch this fight?
But I just go see who's having it and then go from there.
Right, I'm going to do the same thing. Right, I'm not giving those guys a penny of my money. They don't need my money. No. And so they're saying, well, the promoters are putting the money up. Where do you think they're getting the money from? It's all the advance fees from the pay-per-view, right? So they know they're going to get $275 million from the pay-per-view, and they're going to charge $100 for this fight. It's not going to be less than the Pacquiao fight. I think that was at $89.
I believe it was $100 too.
Was it? I thought it was $89. But anyway, it doesn't matter. They're going to charge $100, and they're going to get it.
Right.
They could charge $150 and get it because people want to see. They want to say, is boxing better than MMA? Where am I going to spend my time watching my leisure sports, right? When the big four aren't on TV, and maybe I want something different, am I going to watch boxing or MMA? And I think there's a lot of people out there. I'm in that group.
Right.
For me, I kind of flip it back and forth. I like them both. I like the purity of the boxing game, right? I like the rules, but then I like the blood splatter of MMA. And what could be better? Scott, did you find it yet?
He has his own charity organization, but it doesn't say how much he's invested.
Right. Well, nonetheless, so for me, I mean, I love the blood splatter. Now, if you would have hit that one dude, I can't remember his name. It's just a distant memory. The guy you knocked out downtown. What was his name?
Randy Moreno, I believe.
Randy Moreno. All right, look it up and look out the knockout from this guy. Great stuff.
It's on YouTube. Check it out.
It's on YouTube, exactly. Pow! So, imagine if you would have had a shot and then blood. Because I didn't see that on when I was live. I was ringside, folks, and I couldn't see it from where I was because there was people standing up right in the front row around because I had the referees in front of me,
right. And
then there was somebody from the media that was right in front of me on top of it, so I couldn't see if there was a any splatter of blood, but I saw a whole jaw shake though.
Yeah.
Playing that in slow motion is the best thing going. If you do nothing else, if you ever hit somebody in a ring, of course, we don't want to be violent on the street, and you do it in slow motion, you can see their whole head jerk back and forth. That's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. And I'm sure it'd be very fulfilling for you.
Yeah, it's definitely funny.
It is. Well, how many times have you done that?
I got about 9 knockouts now, and still counting.
Well, yeah. Hopefully we'll get into the triple digits at some point. Okay, right. So Scott pulls up in 2012. We have to read this quickly. A boxer who calls himself, quote, money, end quote, gave $200,000 to the 3 Square Food Bank in Las Vegas. Other donations have included about $250,000 to the Rainbow Dreams Academy Charter School, $150,000 to Habitat for Humanity, and $115,000 to the Susan G. Komen chapter of Southern Nevada. Well, good for you. Good for you. I think that's good, Floyd. You should be doing more. You've got hundreds and hundreds of million you could blow on great causes, and it'll make you a better human in the public eye if you continue to do things like this. But remember, that was 5 years old, Scott. That wasn't anything new. Yeah. So it's what have you done for me lately, right?
That was the most recent thing I could find.
That's the most recent thing our engineer could find. And frankly, that's embarrassing. And how much money has he made since then?
Too much.
Huge number. In fact, we're going to look it up and talk about it in the next segment here at the Sports Circus. See you in a minute. Okay, we are back ringside here at the Sports Circus in fabulous Las Vegas. That is the fight capital of the world. Today's segment, or this segment, I should say, see if I can do that again. This segment is brought to you by Legal Shield. For less than $1 a day, they can help you with all kinds of legal problems, whether you're speeding or texting and driving or getting hit by guys like this with this kind of hand who's a professional boxer. Something. Maybe someone gave you a contract that you don't understand. You never know. Give them a call at 213-245-1305 or go to nocourt.us. What a great name, nocourt.us. Who wants to go to court? I don't want to go to court. How are you going to forget that? Nocourt.us. Okay, so I am sitting here with
Thomas the Animal Herrera, professional boxer fighting at super featherweight.
This guy can hit, folks. This guy can hit. Show him your guns. This guy can hit. You don't want to get hit by this guy. You have to do it over my head. Get out of here. I'm a lot bigger, but I'm probably not stronger.
You got stamina, though.
I got mad stamina. That's left for another conversation. So, anyway, let's talk about your career, where you see it going. Now, you may get a $50 million payoff. You may get a $100 million payoff. You never know. All it takes is the lucky punch. Right? Because you're already a great puncher. But now, if you get in the ring as one of those setup fights and you take someone down, imagine like what Buster Douglas did to Tyson.
Yeah.
I mean, look what it put Buster on the map, didn't it?
Definitely.
And how much money did that guy make?
Lots.
Wow. All right. So, what are your plans in the next 3 months? How many fights do you think that you're going to end up with?
The next 3 months, I would say this year I'll probably have a total of 5. Yeah, definitely. But
you've had 2 this year?
2 so far.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, I've been in this game like 10 years as a professional fighter. Yeah, and then before that, I had 30 amateurs.
Aren't you like 21? He's been fighting since he was 11.
Yeah, I came out of the womb throwing punches.
Right, exactly, exactly. Kind of like Billy. You know, Billy came out. He already weighed 200 when he came out of the womb. Yeah, because of his head, folks. If you don't know him, his head is this big. It's a double pumpkin head.
I don't know how he fits in here, but
I don't know how either. I mean, it's a big ring in here. I don't know how his head fits in here. But he did tell me a story about the ring collapsing. Because I guess there were so many people after a fight that he had won, they climbed into the ring. He actually broke his leg when the ring collapsed. Wow. Have you ever heard of anything like that happening?
I have not.
Google it. Yeah, he actually had it happen. That's unbelievable. So, we were going to talk about something particular in this round, and I believe... Ooh, I think I hear a train. It's live, folks. Anything could happen. Anything could happen. So, remember we were talking before the show about the NFL.
Right.
Okay, so folks, the NFL has recently settled on 2 concussion cases. Now this is interesting because players, just like boxers, they sign a release. They say, okay, well, here's all the rules and whatever. I'm going to sign my name at the bottom of it. Okay, you sign your name, and all the rules are all these things right here. All right, so the problem is this. Legally, when a player or a boxer, whatever sport you're playing, it doesn't matter, except maybe hopscotch. I'm not really sure if they have a contract for that. Right. But if so, nocourt.us. You never know. You may get a contract you don't understand. So, but you get a contract, and you sign the contract. You don't even know what it says. Anyway, there's an indemnification clause where the league or the boxing council or the venue, you have to hold them harmless in case something happens. Well, the NFL has this. Major League Baseball has it. Hockey has it. The NBA has it. The WNBA has it. Pick your favorite professional level, right?
Right.
So, the NFL players, they get injured on the job, right? They get concussed, okay? Bad, it's tragic. We never want to see anybody get injured. Just like when a police officer gets hurt in the line of duty or a military person gets hurt in the line of duty. Folks, it's a bad thing. We know it. But they're professionals. They're hired guns. They're all paid money, therefore they're professional. And they knew the risk of the job. In fact, so much that they signed a contract holding that organization harmless. Enter the NFL. The NFL says, we're going to have you hold us harmless. The players, they sign off. They're 18 years of age. They have agents. They're at least 18 years of age. In most cases, they're college graduates in the NFL. Right? Even in the NBA, they're 18, 19 years of age. They're old enough to sign a contract and execute a contract. Therefore, they're doing it legally on their own well-being. A sound-minded body. The problem is this. The NFL actually settled on the concussion cases, a couple of them. And I just read about this morning. Here's my problem with it. If you sign a contract and you say that you are going to hold them harmless, right? And it's in black and white. And then you come back after your career or even mid-career and say, oh, by the way, I got hurt on the job. Now I'm going to sue you and your league and your venue. How does that work?
That's a good question.
How does that work? It doesn't work. It doesn't work because the players knew the risk as soon as they signed up. And as soon as they signed up, they held everybody harmless on paper. Now, in boxing, I had this conversation with Billy yesterday. In boxing, I said, Billy, have you been concussed? And he said, many, many times. I said, so what's your recourse? He goes, that's a good question. So, Tomas, You have fought many fights.
Right.
Have you ever had a concussion?
I have not. I've been pretty fortunate enough.
That's because you're elusive and quick, right? You know what to do, right?
Exactly.
Show everybody your thing again. Go ahead.
Boom.
That's the guy.
Right
okay,
there.
so when he's back there in the ring, you don't want to get hit by him. But the idea is if you get hit, somebody gets a lucky punch in on you, and let's just say they hit you, your head bounces off the canvas or the turnbuckle or whatever the hell they call it. I don't know. I'm not a boxer. Yeah. Anyway, I just watch it on TV or ringside when he's fighting. So if that happens and you get hurt, what's your recourse? What do you do?
Usually after a fight, the doctor checks up on you and asks you if you're okay, if you have headaches, if you're double vision or whatever. And I mean, if you are injured, I guess just go from there. They take care of you, and I believe the boxing commission is the one that pays for whatever.
So the doctor is licensed or basically hired by the boxing commission, right?
The boxing commission.
Okay. So in your last fight, for example, and was that a WBC fight or something like that?
No, it was actually just a 6-rounder.
Okay.
6-round fight.
So whoever was sanctioning this fight, they're responsible for hiring the doctor.
Correct.
Okay. So think about this. If the doctor misdiagnoses you, says, oh, he's okay, nothing's wrong with this guy whatsoever, and then let's just say a few days later, you have some really bad symptoms from being concussed or something horrible like that.
Right.
What is your recourse against that doctor? That's the big question. And all you at home that's listening, you have to realize that this guy, he technically signed a release just like the players in the NFL. They signed a release, right? Now, does he have the right to go back to whoever sanctioned the fight or the venue and go after them just like the retired players or the injured players from the NFL, how they go back to the league and sue the league? That's my question to you. How do you feel about that?
I believe there is maybe a grace period. I don't know if it's 3 or whatever, but say you are feeling symptoms after the fight. Yeah, you could go back to the boxing commission and tell them, that your head's hurting or you're suffering a concussion or whatever it is, and they should take care of it. But I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but that's what.
Well, Tomas, what if they say, sorry, you signed a release? And, sorry, you're past the grace period. Think about this. We have the NFL players that have retired, and they're coming out of the woodwork. I have this CPD, or I can't remember the name of it, the acronym, but, we have this concussion protocol problem, whatever it is, right? And they're going back years after it, and they're filing suit against the NFL. And if they're winning, see, the precedent has been set in the courtroom. They've already said, okay, NFL says we're guilty, we're going to settle. As soon as you pay 1 penny, now you're guilty. Now, the important part about that is that precedent has been set for the boxing world, and for the basketball world, and for the hockey world. God knows they need it there, right? And the baseball world, those people get hit in the head or spiked or whatnot, something that hits their head. The point being is, the NFL just opened up the floodgates for lawsuits from professional athletes, for people like yourself and Billy and Mayweather and McGregor and everybody that's out there. Yeah, I said your name in the same sentence as Mayweather. How's that?
Nice.
You heard it here first. So the point being is, they've opened the floodgates, and if there's a problem with people like yourself getting injured, guess what? Now everybody has a claim. And remember, folks, you heard it here first on the Sports Circus. We'll see in just a minute. Welcome back to the final segment of the Sports Circus. I'm your ringmaster and host, Sal, and I am with Tomas El Animal Herrera. And we see a wonderful ring behind us. This guy has fought in the ring many, many a time. He has knocked out many a people, and he's got a lot more knockouts coming, don't you?
Definitely.
Tell everybody about your ink. What do you got there?
This is an Aztec warrior tattoo, because I'm a fighter, I'm a warrior. So this is the one where, when I lived in LA, I lived there about a year, and I've been here in Vegas now for about 3 years now.
Nice. But you're originally from Tucson?
Tucson, Arizona. Right. And yeah, I came to Vegas just to pursue the dream, the boxing career.
So when you came to Vegas, you said, I want to be a boxer. Right. I want to fight. I'm a tough guy. I can handle myself, but I want to get paid to do it. What was the first thing you did? Because there's a lot of people at home saying, hey, maybe I have aspirations of being a fighter, but I don't really know what to do. I don't know who to trust, first and foremost, but I don't know a path to get there.
Right.
What's the first thing you do? Tell everybody at home, because I have no idea.
Well, I mean, basically, everyone could become a professional fighter. I mean, there's just, you just get a physical, blood work, and it's just paperwork, and you're good to go. But of course, you don't want to do it that way. There's the process, amateur fighting, experience. Once you've experienced enough to, go pro, then you go from there. But of course, it's a process. I mean, you gotta have like a manager, a promoter, matchmaker, someone to, get you the right fights. Because if not, then it's gonna be a tough career.
So the first step is to set up amateur fights. Now, how do you set up amateur fights?
I mean, if they have any shows, you just got to do your research. If there's shows,
But you go to a gym. Do you say, "Hey, I want to start training at this gym. Can somebody help me? I want to someday fight professionally."
Yeah, I mean, whatever gym you decide to go, just tell your trainer you're interested in fighting, amateur, and he should have some connections, and just try to hook you up with local shows, or if they're.
Well, you got a pretty good trainer.
I do.
Who's your trainer?
Rafael Garcia. His father is Rafael Garcia. Well, he's a junior, so Rafael Garcia. Senior, he's Mayweather's cutman. And
he has an incredible history too.
Yeah.
Tell everybody about Rafael's father's history, and then bring it down to Rafael.
Okay. He's worked with the greatest. I mean, Roberto Duran, Mayweather Jr., and lots of big names out there. And my coach, Rafael Garcia Jr., he's just learned, like from the past, and he carries all that experience with him, and he's just passing it down to me and to his other fighters, and he's a great coach. That's why I'm with him, and he's definitely the type of trainer that he gets an underdog, and he gets more of his thing is just to create a champion, not like get a champion and continue winning fights. He'd rather have an underdog and just climb his way up and make him a champion. And,
so where does Rafael train his fighters at?
The Mayweather Boxing Club, and usually what we do is we have our training session in the morning. We go meet at the track. We do our our cardio.
What track? What do you mean? You got to remember, there's people at home don't know what the track is. I don't know what the track is. Are you talking about a race track?
Yeah, it's just
a running track.
Yeah, no, it's a running track.
Okay.
Yeah, and he has us do different drills from like pushing. With the football players, they push that.
Oh right, where the big blocking. Right. Machine things, yeah.
Yeah, and he has just different drills, running sprints with weighted vests, and he'll time us, and we do the stairs.
This is all before you even get into the gym.
Yeah, before we step.
How many hours a day do you train?
I say a good 4 to 5, depending.
So your fat percentage is like 2.
Something like that.
Right, that's ridiculous. I haven't had that since birth. I don't know. I don't even know about that. I think I came out a real pudgy kid. Not really sure. Yeah. So you're doing a lot of training, and you get yourself you go to a gym, a reputable gym. How do you find a reputable gym?
Well, that's the reason I moved here to Vegas. When I was living in LA, I was training at the Wild Card Gym, and that's where all the Manny Pacquiao, Malignaggi, Miguel Cotto, that's where all the greatest fought. And of course here in Vegas you have the Mayweather Club, and that's one of the most prestigious gyms in the world. So yeah, I mean, I went out of my way, left my hometown, and here I am here in Vegas, just pursuing my dream and just going from there.
So how many amateur fights did you have before you turned pro?
I had 30 amateurs.
And how do you know when you're ready to be a professional fighter? 30 fights, that's a lot of fights.
It is. I mean, some fighters have 50, 100 fights,
really?
And they finally go pro. Yeah, 200 fights, yeah. Like
wow.
us, yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah,
all you at home, imagine that. 30 before you even get into the ring professionally and get paid for it, hopefully, right?
Yeah, that's the plan.
That's the plan. So how many total fights have you had as a pro?
I'm at 30 pro fights right now.
Wow, so you've had 60 fights in the ring.
Correct.
30 basically as practice or prep to become a pro.
Yes.
Now how do you get from But we already know how we get into to be a pro per se. But how do you rise up through the ranks? I mean, who do you align yourself with? How do you know who's the good guy and who's the villain as far as, you know, paperwork and contracts? And how do you know if you're with the right group that can help you climb the professional ranks? Or basically, sometimes I've heard this, you'll get signed and then they'll put you on a shelf, right?
Right.
So what does that mean? And how do you avoid being put on a shelf and have your shot to rise up the ladder?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just a business. It's really who you know. I mean, if you have the right manager, promoter, and matchmaker, then you're getting the right fights, you're making the money, you see the results.
But how do you find the right manager or promoter?
Most likely they find you. They find you.
So if you're just winning, just like in professional sports anywhere,
Right.
or if you're an amateur, the pro scouts are going to find you.
Right.
Right, and they just know where to look.
Yeah, that's most
okay. So let's say now let's fast forward. We only have a few minutes here.
Okay.
Let's say we fast forward, and let's say you're mid-career, whatever that means, and you're kind of close to getting that big fight.
Title shots.
Yeah. How do you get a title shot and get past the paper champion stage? Tell everybody at home what a paper champion is.
Paper champion, that's pretty much, you know, you're winning titles and it's all on paper, you know, what titles you won, whether it's a WBC, different types of titles, but I mean, it's there, it's proof.
But is it basically like a chain of setup fights instead of real contenders? Now, how do you get the promoter, your promoter, right, gets to select who you get to fight, right? Now, or your management.
Yeah, your management.
Okay, so your management does, but how do they avoid you getting locked up into a, basically as one of the guys that have been put on a shelf?
Right.
We don't want to fight Tomas because he's dangerous. We want to fight the setup fight because we know we can get a W out of this guy.
Right.
And it will help bolster our record. How do you avoid that as a fighter?
I mean, it's really up to your management team. I mean, you know, that they call it.
That sounds awful.
Yeah, that's just the way it works. I mean, but there's always that chance. You know, you get the underdog, you want that win, but you know, things don't happen that way.
Well, it sounds very risky that you could take your whole life's the whole body of work for 10 years, for example, and say, well, you know, I've been fighting for 10 years and I don't have a legitimate shot to get a title bout.
Right.
How do you avoid that?
Well, that's a good
Tell
question.
them. How do you avoid it? I mean, I have to ask because in the ring here, this guy's a master. I don't know anything about it. I eat popcorn and take video on the side. But this guy's in the ring. Tell them at home what they need to avoid so they don't become one of those setup fights.
Just an opponent?
Yeah, just an opponent with no real shot. You got 1 minute. Tell everybody at home.
Well, basically, you just have to have a great team, and you know, they're the ones that's going to manage you, take you to the top, and you know, if that doesn't happen, then it's going to be a tough career. But you know, you just put in your hard work and you know, your sacrifice, your dedication, and eventually, only time will tell. And you know, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
Wow, sounds like there's a lot of faith, and I can understand that side of it.
It's a tough sport,
but there has to be a good path. We're going to bring you back, you know, on another day, and we're going to talk again about that path because that path is a show in itself.
Right.
Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. Maybe we'll bring Billy in there, and we can talk about the path as well because Billy's been on the big cards.
Oh yeah,
he's certainly been on that. He was on the Holyfield, Tyson card, etc. and so forth. So we're going to save that for another episode of the Sports Circus. But in the meantime, I want to thank you for coming on.
Anytime.
Always a pleasure having you on.
Likewise.
And we'll certainly bring you back. Make sure you tune in every day from 5 to 6 p.m. And you can check out the Sports Circus at thesportscircus.com. Until next time, have a great day.
Live. Johnny Stewart and Friends.
Slithering Idiot Show.
Ariel and Bruce.
Guy Dawson Show.
702 Rocks. Danny Vegas time.
Welcome to the Live. Johnny Stewart and Friends.
Slithering Idiot Show.
Ariel and Bruce.
Guy Dawson Show.
702 Rocks. Danny Vegas time.
Protect your business from the fastest growing crime of the 21st century. Find out here. You're watching Technology Review. Welcome to another episode of Technology Review for June 23rd, 2017. I'm your host, Mac Jackson Jr. Technology Review is a show that helps inform and educates the public and business owners on identity theft, cyber crimes, and we also like to give you tips on new tech gadgets that are out there to help you in your business and personal productivity. Did you know that every 2 seconds someone has their identity stolen by an identity thief? Did you know that also over 16 million new victims are reported to law enforcement every year? Every year, folks, are reported to law enforcement regarding some sort of identity theft or cyber crime. According to law enforcement and the Justice Department, identity theft is the fastest growing crime of the 21st century. You don't have to be a victim, folks. With a little bit of training and support, what we give here in the show, you can mitigate the damages of identity theft and cyber crimes. Hi, my name is Mac Jackson Jr. I'm a cybersecurity speaker, professional, and compliance officer. And what we offer here is to make sure that information is passed to you, the business owner, and individuals, so you can fight back when it comes to cyber crimes. My programs and services will help mitigate the damages of identity theft and fraud. I would like to thank everyone who's made this show possible, been a part of us here at Technology Review on WCOBM.TV. We've been here over 3 years now and moving forward thanks to you. I'd like to give a shout out to some of my viewers who are watching our show. They include this week Beth, Cindy, Nancy, Vonda, Martha, there's Jay, Kyle, Amy, and the Greenberg family. Thank you all for your emails and your support of Technology Review. We're here every Friday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, WCOBM.TV. But if you happen to miss one of our shows, you can always look us up online, folks, on demand, by either going to my website at macjacksonjr.com and click on Technology Review, or you can go to WCOBM.TV and find Technology Review and take a look at all of the on-demand shows here at Technology Review. Our company reaches a wide audience view from around the world. We have viewers from everywhere, from Australia, London, over in Europe, all over the 50 states of the United States, and over in Asia as well. You could be a part of that viewing audience, and your message can reach this demographic as well. Quite simply, you could be a sponsor of our show. To do that, just simply send an email to sponsors@macjacksonjr.com or contact our sales office at 702-868-0808. Some of our awesome sponsors include Nevada Bankers Association, InSync, CenturyLink, Turing Consulting Group, Viking Technology Partners. Those are just some of our sponsors, folks, and making this show possible. You could be a part of it as well. Just contact our offices at sponsors@macjacksonjr.com, at sponsors@macjacksonjr.com. Here on Technology Review, our mission is to educate the public on the importance of identity theft and cyber crimes that have affected the public. Our belief here that cybersecurity awareness education is our first line of defense. I believe in educating our children as well in all of our communities and understanding what their values are for now and into the future regarding technology. And because of this, I also would like to give a shout out and thanks to a group, an organization here called IT Works by Tech Impact. IT Works by Tech Impact has 16 weeks of immersive technology training programs that they will train younger people to understand technology. These training programs provide students with an opportunity to earn at least one professional IT certification, receive hundreds of hours in soft training techniques, and to be placed as an IT intern as well. Tech Impact currently are enrolling folks right now into their programs and their courses. If you'd like to be a part of that, please give them a call at Tech Impact at 888-798-1350. That's 888-798-1350, and tell them that Mac Jackson Jr. sent you. Thank you, Tech Impact. I also wanted to have you guys take a look at an upcoming book that I am publishing and getting on the market. You can find an early copy of it or pre-release of my book It's called How to Protect Your Family from Identity Theft. It is packed full of information on steps and techniques, what to do if you think you might have your information stolen or you want to make sure of it, especially for your young and elderly in your household. You can find that on my website at macjacksonjr.com. It's macjacksonjr.com, and click on the bookstore and you can find information on my book, How to Protect Your Family from Identity Theft and Fraud. On today's show, we're going to talk about understanding identity theft, how it happens, what you can do, and what it is. In our business spotlight, we're going to talk about why businesses are the number one source of identity theft. Yes, absolutely. We have a great news report too, how cyber is picking up in the news right now. In our new tech gadgets, we're talking about applications that can protect your devices from cyber attacks, or at least mitigate them. And of course, our green technology, we talk about e-vehicles, electric cars, especially Tesla from Tesla Motors as well. Understanding identity theft. What is it? Identity theft, folks, is when someone acquires another person's personal identifiable information. That could be anything from a social security number, birth certificate, driver's license number, any sort of information that uniquely identifies an individual. And they meaning the thieves, would take that information, either sell it in the dark net, or they use it for financial gain, causing the victim to prove that that information that's on their credit reports is not theirs, and those debts are owed that are not theirs. One of the biggest cyber crimes that are happening right now in our community here in Las Vegas and around the world is ransomware. It's on the increase, and of course lots of companies are at a standstill because they cannot move or do anything because of this ransomware threat that affected their business. Cyber crimes are, folks, on the rise, and it is an invisible thief due to technology, which we all must have in our society today, but we also need to use technology as a way to mitigate and stop some of these thieves of trying to acquire information. The direct and indirect losses now have surpassed $24.7 billion in losses that are passed on to the consumers, unfortunately, by businesses because of this. But it's getting to a point where we need to do something about this. State and local governments, legislations across the country and around the world are developing regulations to stop this type of activities. But you can do a lot in your part as well. Let's talk about what types of identity theft to look out for and monitor. Always check your credit report. You find something suspicious on your credit report, report it to law enforcement immediately, and also let the creditors and the credit reporting agencies know that this type of transaction was not yours, and get it squashed and mitigated. It's very, very important. It can help you out from everything from your financial position you're in right now, even employment, folks. Yes, that's right, folks. Even employment, your credit does matter. These things that can happen to you, you will notice when you start getting bills in the mail from about assets that you do not own that are due to be paid. You will start to notice that. You will get phone calls from creditors stating that you owe money that you may or may not have acquired. If you have any of this type of activities, definitely report it immediately to the credit reporting agencies. And you can find a lot more of information I have on my website at macjacksonjr.com. That's macjacksonjr.com. You'll find information on my products and services that I offer my customers. There's a wide range that we offer, everything from events where I come and speak to your organization. There are workshops where I and my staff can train your employees on what to look out for, suspicious activities that cyber thieves would try to do to break the barrier of your security within your organization to acquire information. We have our lunch and learns that we have here in Las Vegas every month, as well as this great show that we're doing here for you every Friday at 3 p.m. These are just some of the things, folks, that we have for you. And also, we have a Protection Connection community. I definitely advise you to definitely join our Protection Connection community, and you will have access to lots of information regarding identity theft and fraud and how to protect your business and your family from cyber crimes and for cyber thieves as well. So that's, in a nutshell, what I do with my company. Find out more, go to my website at macjacksonjr.com. It's macjacksonjr.com. You can also go to Facebook at facebook.com/technologyreviewtv. Give us a thumbs up if you like our show. You can find me on Twitter, twitter.com/macjacksonjr, or find me on LinkedIn. Yes, folks, LinkedIn as well. linkedin.com/in/Mac Jackson Jr. for information on my background and my study on cyber crimes and identity theft. I want to thank everybody for being part of our show today. A great show today. Lots planned for you. We'll be right back after these important messages.
Johnny Stewart and Friends.
Slithering Idiot Show.
Ariel and Bruce.
Guy Dawson Show.
702 Rocks. Danny Vegas time.
Welcome back to Technology Review. I'm your host, Mac Jackson Jr. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Technology Review TV. Remember to give us a thumbs up if you like our show. Find me on Twitter at twitter.com/Mac Jackson Jr. or on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/Mac Jackson Jr. Or better yet, you can go to my website at MacJacksonJr.com. Lots of ways in social media, folks, to find us out there, and with chock full of information regarding identity theft and fraud prevention and mitigation. In this segment, we call the Business Spotlight. In this Business Spotlight, we talk about what businesses need to know and why businesses are the number one source of identity theft and cybercrimes. They're the number one source because they are the banks. They are the electronic bank vaults, folks. Information is a new currency, and cyber criminals are looking for that information where they can sell it, turn around and sell it to other thieves around the world. And I have a great example of that for you in this segment here. But first, we'll talk about cyber news of the week. This week, Homeland Security officials stated that Russian government actors tried to hack into the U.S. election systems in 2016 in over 21 states. Now, what does this mean to you? Well, that means that investigations have shown that over 21 states have had some sort of cyber attack by Russian actors. Now, it could have been other countries as well, North Korea or others, but the investigations are showing right now that at least 21 states. So the question is, what did they do? Did they affect the election? Well, the first investigation have shown that the hackers went into the voting databases of these different states, of the 21 states, and tried to affect them by taking voters' rolls, deleting voters from the list. So what would that do, folks? When you show up to election knowing that you're a registered voter and your name is not on the list, it would cause chaos. Yes, that's right, folks. Cause chaos and cause people to walk away from voting, meaning less people will be voting. And that's exactly what our enemies want to do, show that chaos in our democracy, in our system, because they do not like the way of life that we're doing right now. So it's important that we all be aware of that. We all know what's going on. And law enforcement and officials from all 50 states are on top of this and looking to mitigate these factors and not allowing these hackers to have any other access to it. But this doesn't stop, folks. The war is not over with yet. Cyber crimes and cyber terrorism, the cyber war is on. It's been on for several years. It's just now coming out through the media that we've gone through this. So what's important for you? Education. That's important for you. That's your tool, your weapon in defending your privacy, your individualism against cyber hackers is education. The former Homeland Security Secretary, Jake Johnson, testified at a Senate subcommittee meeting this week and stated that there has to be a collaboration between government and businesses in order to combat the threats of cyber attacks by foreign entities. What does that mean? That means information needs to be shared back and forth. If we see something, we say something. We report it. We make sure the awareness is out. That's the best way that we can fight against this. Here's another extreme example of what's going on when I mentioned cybersecurity database breaches in our society right now. Did you know that recently it has been reported and now open to the media that 200 million voters, their records were available in a database? A subcontractor, either on the DNC side or the RNC side, left a database that had personal identifiable information we called PII available on the internet. It was a URL you can go to without a user ID and a password, and you can be able to download personal identifiable information of voters. For example, information of where they live, their phone number, what type of sports they're into, what type of activities, how many kids they have, their income base, all of that information. Let me tell you, folks, this information is a gold mine to cyber hackers. This is the information that they need to bring down to the darknet and match it up with information that they've stolen. Now they can reproduce your individual IDs, your individual profiles. So it's very, very important that from this point forward, we all check our information, our personal identifiable information, from all databases which we know of, make sure they are correct, and also monitor all of your transactions that you do, from the financial to your medical, all of it. You monitor. You go to the doctor, you make sure that you see a receipt or look online and make sure that transaction is recorded correctly and there's no additional transactions within your name or your account number. Your children as well. These type of attacks, folks, can be very stealth-wise because we're dealing in technology. In other words, once a hacker can break into a computer system and look at a database, they don't necessarily have to move any data around or touch anything to leave a fingerprint they were there, where the end user would notice. Now, cybersecurity experts, they'll be able to find out through log reports who's been into their system. However, the end user may see that the data looks fine, but all they need to do is take a picture of it or a copy of it. Folks, you know how easy it is to cut and paste, right? Well, information could be cut and pasted out of a database instantly, and this information can then be sold to the black market. So that's why it's extremely important that you have an awareness going on in your organization. That's the cyber news on this particular episode. So I asked you the question, what is the biggest cybersecurity threat for businesses? And it relates to our previous story and news. The biggest threats are businesses are not mapping the cybersecurity threats to their bottom line. That's right, folks. Even with the reports you heard just a few seconds ago regarding cybersecurity news, companies and businesses are still not making that leap towards investing in cybersecurity just until recently. There has been a new report that businesses are now starting to invest in cybersecurity awareness, and that's why it's important. It's important that companies, every member of the company, understands their duty, their responsibility to protecting their customers and their company's personal data. And it's starting to happen, folks. It will get even better. This is our best defense. And it starts by training. Have your individual employees that work within your organization trained on what to look for. They may see suspicious transactions like a phone call coming in from someone pretending to be a previous employee that lost their ID, lost their access card. They may pretend to know the owner. They may even have access to information regarding the owner to get past the secretary, to get past the front desk person in order to get to the actual owner. There may be emails that are sent to someone in your organization that looks very official from someone outside of your organization, or maybe even from someone inside your organization. We've seen stories, folks, where employees will receive emails from their financial officer, chief financial officer, asking for a wire transfer to be transferred to a different bank. Yes, an email corresponding back and forth where the employee actually thought they were talking to their boss, the head honcho, and it turns out they were not. They were talking to a cyber thief that was trying to coerce, using social engineering, to get the individual to send wire transfers to another bank. That's why it's important. Once employees are trained to look for this type of suspicious activity, and then once that's done, we can recreate the policies, revisit corporate policies and training, and make sure individuals understand what to look forward to. Once it happens, folks, then we can have a strong shield against cyber attacks. For more information on this, if you'd like to find out how to protect your business and to make sure that they are trained, check out one of our workshops at MJ Computer Concepts, Cybersecurity Awareness Education. We'll train your employees to the latest of what's going on in cyber criminals. I also want to give a quick shout out thanks to the U.S. Secret Service yesterday, appearing at our Lunch and Learn at the Switch Innovation Center here in Las Vegas. His name is Jacob Sinko. Thank you, Agent Sinko, for being a part of it and giving us a plethora of information. Boy, he was amazing. Really mesmerized the audience of information that's going on regarding cybersecurity, things that we've been talking about for years. We've had it validated by having a U.S. Secret Service at our Lunch and Learns. You can find out more by being a part of our Protection Connection group, folks, and you can have access to all this information to stay one step ahead of these cyber thieves that are out there. They're trying to get our information. And again, the best way is to go to my website at macjacksonjr.com, Sign up to be a part of our Protection Connection community. We'll let you know when our next event's happening, and our lunch and learns are for free. Yes, that's right, folks. Our lunch and learns are for free here in Las Vegas. But then sign up and register for our workshops so we can train your employees on cybersecurity awareness education. Folks, we'll be right back after these messages.
Welcome to the Non-Live.
Johnny Stuart and Friends.
Slithering Idiot Show.
Are Young and Bruce?
Guy Dawson Show.
702 Rocks. Danny Vegas time.
Hello, welcome back to Technology Review. I'm your host, Mac Jackson Jr. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Technology Review TV. Remember to give us a thumbs up if you like our show. I'm also on Twitter at twitter.com/Mac Jackson Jr. and LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/Mac Jackson Jr. You can find my website at macjacksonjr.com. In this segment, we call it the new gadgets for technology. These are apps that we recommend you should have on your smart devices to mitigate and protect you from identity theft and fraud. But first, I'd like to give you some information about my show and my brand and what I do here on Technology Review. You could do that by texting my name, Mac, M-A-C-K, text M-A-C-K to the number 444-999. That's 444-999, and not like a pizza 999. It's 444-999. All right, folks. Yes, you text that information, and we will send you information on my brand, products and services that you definitely should have in your toolbox within your organization. I also wanted to say a shout out to InSync Virtual Desktop Solutions out of Washington State. A great program if you want to be able to have a totally protected system and not have to worry about backups or viruses involving your applications that you're utilizing in your workplace. All your endpoints protected. That's a good way to do it, is to use a company called InSync out of Washington, California. InSync Virtual Desktop Cloud Solutions. An application I've spoken about a lot on the show that I am very, very proud of. I use it a lot. It's regarding tracking and storing all of your information and having available to you at your fingertips. Imagine needing an important document, a business card, a note that you made 3 weeks ago, a website you visited 6 months ago, but all you have with you right now is your smartphone, and you're thinking, wow, what was the name of that important information? Wouldn't it be nice to just take your smart device and do a text search for a handwritten note that you've created 6 months, a year ago? Yes, absolutely, folks. This is possible. Very, very possible. How about writing notes? Wouldn't it be nice if you could take a notebook and a pen and make handwritten notes from a business meeting, a convention that you're in, or just your projects that you're working on, or drawings that you're doing. And then once the notes are completed in your notebook, just take your smart device and magically take pictures of every page. That's right, folks, every page, and have that information digitized and available for you in a PDF. That's right, folks, in a PDF format that you can instantly send out, email out, and collaborate with your partners and associates. Yes, folks, this technique and software is available. It's available now. The program is called Evernote. Yes, folks, Evernote by the company Evernote.com, EVERNOTE.com. You can store photos, bank statements, PDF files, all this information instantly. And the notebook I was telling you about, the notebook that I'm reviewing right now is called Everlast. And what's cool about this notebook, folks, is you could take your pen. There's a version of the Pilot pen, right? And it will allow you to write on the actual notebook in a pen form. And there's an eraser. Yes, that's right, folks. An eraser that erases ink. It's pretty cool. Once you get the information written on your notebook, you take a picture of it, scan it automatically. It stores in Evernote that you can get later on. After you finish writing down your notes and you have it stored in Evernote, all you need to do is take a damp cloth and wipe the pages clean. Absolutely amazing. And reuse them again for your next project. So now you have a notebook you can reuse and reuse and reuse without spending lots of money on paper. And yes, folks, this is the first step towards paperless. Yes, paperless note-taking, paperless documents. So think about that. 2 products, Everlast Notebook with the software program called Evernote. You can be able to have a paperless documents that you could store. Definitely check them out. Again, the website is Evernote at EVERNOTE, where your computer systems are frozen and held hostage to cyber thieves for ransom. You need to back up your data. There are several programs out there that allow you to back up your data and giving you security that way. One of the ones that I will recommend to you is called Carbonite from carbonite.com. You can back up and store all of your information and have it accessible to you when needed again. But I also recommend you go through the next step, folks, and do a restore. I also would suggest that you have a training day, preferably twice a year, that you go through a backup and a restore process. In other words, the question I have for you is, what would it cost you if you lost your data for a day? How long could you be down without your computer system? This information you need to know, and it gives you that much sense of security knowing that if all your machines went down, how long it would take you to come back, to bring them all back up and running and being online again. Things to think about. Also, when it comes to backup, making sure that you have a correct restore process. So you back it up and make sure you restore it. And the also part of it also includes your smart devices, like your phone. All the phone numbers that we have in our phones nowadays, folks, we need to make sure they are backed up as well. One of the best things to do to avoid cyber attacks on your systems, to mitigate it, is to make sure you have the latest versions of antivirus software on your laptops and your desktops, and you go through the updates. It can be a hassle sometimes, but you do it at the end of the day where you're not on the computer, you're at a Wi-Fi location that is secured within your home or your office. Go through all the updates and update all the apps on your smart devices and make sure that they are in sync and correct. As far as going to a coffee shop, when you go into a coffee shop, folks, here's another piece of software that you should be concerned with. It is a VPN, a virtual private network. And what it does, gives you that extra layer of protection, or cloaking, if you would, your smart device, whereas you're on a Wi-Fi, it's harder for the cyber thieves to penetrate your network and find out who you are. They may not put malware in your system, but they can look over your shoulder and get your user ID and password, go to the same website you just visited after you left, and create malicious activities or meddle in your personal identifiable information. So that's why it's important for you to have a VPN on your smart device when you are accessing hotspots around the world. When you're using your browser and you have hundreds of websites that you visit, like most of us do, we have user ID and a password to access this information. We have different passwords, different user IDs for all of these different websites that we access. Trying to remember this information can be daunting and tedious. And again, folks, we never recommend writing anything down, a user ID or password down on a piece of paper, because basically what you've done there is created currency. You've taken a blank piece of paper and you made it worth dollar value. So never write that down. Having a program called a password management system will give you an extra sense of security, because all you have to remember is one user ID and one password. And using a password management system, it will store and remember all of your passwords for all the websites you visit automatically. And they can be accessible to you from any of your smart devices. There are two password management systems I recommend. One is called LastPass, spelled LASTPASS.com. LastPass. The other is called Dashlane, Dashlane.com. There are two amazing programs that are safe and secure that you could use, and you can also use it with your coworkers as well, where your coworkers won't even know your user ID or your password, but they can assist you when needed. So those are just two examples, folks, of a program you should have. Again, to find out more information, it's quite simple. Go to my website at macjacksonjr.com. Remember, send me a text to the word MACK, that's Mac, M-A-C-K, to 444-999. That's 444-999, and we will send you information about our products and services that we offer here at MJ Computer Concepts. That's 444-999. Text the word MACK. You can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Technology Review TV. That's facebook.com/Technology Review TV. Or LinkedIn. Yes, LinkedIn.com/IN/Mac Jackson Jr., where I have information on my previous projects that I've worked on with clients like yours, talked to families like your families, and gave them advice on how to protect their data from cyber crimes. Folks, you like that? We have lots more of our next segment. We'll be right back after these messages.
Rock.
Johnny Stuart and Friends.
Withering Idiot Show.
Ariel and Bruce.
Guy Dawson Show.
702 Rocks. Danny Vegas time.
Hello and welcome back to Technology Review. I'm your host, Mac Jackson Jr. You can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Technology Review TV. Remember to give us a thumbs up if you like our show. We're also on Twitter, twitter.com/Mac Jackson Jr. or my website, macjacksonjr.com. In this segment, we call it the Green Energy Technology. What is green energy technology? We talk about electric cars, electric bikes, solar energy, and IoT, folks. Remember? If you've been following our show, we talk about IoT, the Internet of Things, as well. What is an electric bike? Electric bike is a mountain bike, right, that you normally pedal and ride up hills, around curves, and commute back and forth to work. Those are electric bikes. But what an e-bike is a powerful electric motor, normally on the rear wheel. Some of them are now on the front wheel, but normally on the rear wheel. And it gives you that extra oomph, if you would, that extra power when you're going up that hill or going around that curve. And also, some of these bikes come with regenerative braking. As you're going downhill, you're feeding the energy back to the battery. An amazing technology, folks. These are e-bikes. They vary in range of how much power you can go between each charge. For example, some of these bikes go from 30 to 100 miles of pedaling distance, right? For driving, you ride these bikes, of riding 30 to 100 miles. And you can get the top speeds of about 20 miles an hour, depending upon your state. Also, I've seen some of these bikes where the governor's taken off of the speedometer there, and it's have revved up to 50 miles an hour. Very, very fast, right? The prices vary. You can find them on all sorts of sites on the internet. From Walmart, they have a really nice bike there called the Jetson electric mountain bike. It retails for about $13.99. Again, these bikes takes about 2 to 3 hours to charge, but again, given that type of power and range, you may want to take a look at them for your commuting or even recreational practice. Here in Las Vegas, we have the Red Rock, and there's a beautiful bike trail, Red Rock Mountain, here in Las Vegas. That would be a beautiful way to get some exercise out and see the valley. But you may want to do it either later at night or wait till the fall, because right now we had temperatures this week over 117 degrees, so this week wouldn't be a good time to be outside riding a bike. It's too hot. But definitely check out these electric bikes. Here's another company called Sundoors. Yes, the Sundoor electric bikes. They have a thin wheel and a thick tire bikes. Thick tire bike, if you ever see those thick tires on the bikes, are really cool. It gives you more power to ride your bike in different terrains, from the street to out in the desert, to on grass, dirt. Really good, the thick tire bike. So definitely check those out as well. We also have the Add Motors. That's ADD Motor fat tires, and they sell for about $19.95, about $2,000. You may think it's $2,000 a lot of money to spend on the bike, but I tell you, folks, once you get on one of these electric bikes, and you can see how cool it is, how fun they are, where you don't have to have a motorcycle's license or spend $1,000 for insurance for this type of bike, maybe something to consider. So definitely check out these motorbikes. In our latest news on electric vehicles, again reported on this show last week that the Chevy Bolt, spelled Chevy Bolt B-O-L-T, will be released in September nationwide. It's currently being released in a small markets in California. California's a big market, but it's released in California first. It came out at the beginning of the year, but now it's going to be released in September throughout the nation. This electric vehicle, folks, 238 miles to a charge. 238 miles to a charge. Folks, it will be the longest charging electric vehicle on the road before the Tesla Model 3 hits the road, and that's a Chevy Bolt. If you still have electric anxiety about running out of power, you may want to check out the Chevy Volt. That's spelled Chevy Volt, V-O-L-T, V as in Victor, V-O-L-T. Chevy Volt has a small electric motor, and it runs on electric as well, but the gas generator keeps the batteries charged up. I've heard reports of people driving their Chevy Bolt, and they're getting like 1,000 miles on a tank of gas. That's incredible. But they're doing that, plus they're charging it as well. That's a lot. Never have to worry about putting gas in your car, once every 2 to 3 months. That would be amazing. Great savings. So definitely check out these two vehicles from Chevy. But my favorite vehicle to promote and talk about on this show is from Tesla Motors. If you haven't got a chance to check out the Tesla Model S or the Tesla Model X, you are missing out, folks. But you don't have to for long. You could test drive one today. Yes, that's right, folks. Contact Tesla Motors at teslamotors.com. Find out a Tesla store in your town and sign up for a free test drive of the Tesla Model S or the Tesla Model X. The Tesla Model X is a 4-door sedan, rated consumers' best tested car and for safety and convenience. Definitely check it out. Price starting about $75,000 for the Tesla. It has autopiloting and automatic steering built into this vehicle. 0-60 in about 2.8 seconds, so it's very, very, very fast when it comes to merging in traffic on the freeway. Definitely check out Tesla Model S. Now, the Model X is the SUV version of the Tesla. It's a little bit more. It retails for about $120,000. Fully loaded is about $136,000. But folks, again, a beautiful car. I like the one in navy blue with black calibers. Oh yeah, very, very nice. Definitely check those out, folks, from Tesla Motors. Tesla 3 will be coming out very, very shortly here soon to be released in mass production by first quarter next year. Absolutely first quarter next year. Now, there are a lot of electric cars out there, folks, that are available. The electric market is definitely on the increase. There are other electric vehicles that I like to give just a quick shout out to the ones that are out there. There include Aston Martin. Aston Martin's coming out with one, as well as the Audi e-tron. You probably have noticed the BMW i8 and i3 on the roads in your town. These are amazing electric vehicles as well. Of course, these electric vehicles have a $7,500 federal tax incentive to lower your taxes, federal taxes paid on these vehicles. Just absolutely amazing. So definitely want to check those vehicles out. In the world of home automation, I talk about IoT, the Internet of Things. And folks, one more time, I want to give thanks to Secret Service agent Jacob in Simcoe. That's right, Jacob Simcoe was speaking at our Lunch and Learn yesterday. I was really excited about it. He showed a video. I'm not sure that we could actually play his video because of security reasons, but he showed a video of hackers that hacked into 2 office buildings in a city, right? 2 office buildings, and they filmed themselves the hacker took his smartphone and turned on all the lights in this 55-story building. all the floors. He turned on the lights in all of the offices, and then pressed another button and turned them off. And he was showing how they were hacking into the building, and they did the building right next to it as well. Incredible. This is what we call the Internet of Things, how you have all of your electronic devices connected and wired to a router accessing the internet that sends the owner notifications. In cybersecurity, folks, we are concerned about this, and we're concerned about security and safety of these devices that have remote access capabilities. That's why it's important for all of us to be aware and learn more about the Internet of Things, IoT, and what it can do. So that was an amazing presentation. We're going to have more of them coming up too at our Lunch and Learns at the Innovation Center from Homeland Security, from the FBI, and local Metropolitan Police Department as well, and other cybersecurity researchers and experts. If you like what you heard on the show, folks, we hope you do. I invite you again to go to my website at macjacksonjr.com and sign up and be a part of Protection Connection community, where you have access to my private interviews I have with law enforcement and people in the industry of identity theft and fraud and cybersecurity, and you'll be able to have a hands-on front seat of what's going on out there that can protect your business and protect your family from one of the biggest crimes of the 21st century, and that is identity theft and fraud. You can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Technology Review TV, Twitter, twitter.com/MacJacksonJr., or LinkedIn, linkedin.com/IN/MacJacksonJr. Protect your family and your business, folks. We can do it out there. We can protect ourselves from these cyber threats. I hope you all have a great weekend. We'll see you next week here on Technology Review TV with Mac Jackson Jr. Thank you.
Johnny, Stuart, and Friends.
Withering Idiot Show.
Ariel and Bruce.
Guy Dawson Show.
702 Rocks. Danny Vegas time.